Wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
What up, everybody? Good afternoon. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 981, just 19 episodes away from the big 1,000 right around the corner. I want to say to everybody this afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you be. Welcome back to the show. Always great to be back to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Michael, how are you, man?
I'm here. I'm alive. It's just, it's one of those days, brother.
Is the heat getting to you yet?
It's not the heat. No, surprisingly, the heat's not getting to me. It's how tired I've been recently is getting to me. And then every little thing is starting to annoy me. Pre-show, like, stuff not working right that was working right before you show. Stuff like that. So I'm just a little on edge, but I'm working on it and calming down. As long as Cody doesn't show up, I'll be great. And I don't have my comments up yet, so I don't know if he's here or not.
Interesting. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Glad to see everybody back. Welcome. Mike, I didn't realize that Wiz Khalifa was in town last night. I did not realize it was Wiz Khalifa and Machine Gun Kelly. Apparently, I would have talked about it a little bit had I known. I did not know. I seen yesterday people were going down to the concert, and it caught my attention late, so apologies about that. Wiz Khalifa and MGK was in town last night. Okay, I thought that there was going to be a reply.
I was going to say interesting. No, something like popped up on my screen, like on my computer, unrelated. I thought my computer was going to die on me.
I would have liked to go down there for that. I would have liked to say, the thing is, like, I wouldn't have went, but I would.
Yeah, it's cool. Like anytime Wiz comes back, man, he's back in the hometown.
I at least like to go through the process, Mike, of making myself think that I would go.
Yeah,
and then letting me talk myself out of it, and then ultimately not going. That's what I would have done had I known, but I didn't know, so I didn't even get to go through the process. But I guess yes, apparently they were in town yesterday, and I'm sure they got a lot of people down there. Good for them, Mike. A couple other things before we do get started today. It is Gay Pride Month, and this is something that we don't not celebrate and not talk about. And I was thinking we got to do something this year. I was thinking maybe we got to put both you and Derpy like on a gay dating site and see which one of you could get more traction. See if you or Derpy could get more attention. Who people trying to say they like you or they like him, or which one could get more dates. I don't know, something like that, because we have a couple weeks left of Gay Pride Month, and I thought something like that could be cool. We'll do a profile for both you and Derpy.
I'd win.
Well, hey, that's the point, because I thought
I'm a sexy beast.
Well, it's a double-edged sword, because two things. I thought that you'd say you'd win, so that's one. And two, you know what? If Derpy wins, good for him. Maybe he could get some, right?
Good for him.
Because the women, the heterosexual thing isn't exactly working out for him. No. So if we do something like this and it works in his favor,
even better.
He
might find out maybe he is in the closet and we're helping him out. We'll do it in a safe way. A supportive way for him. We're here for you, buddy. And if we can get you a date, we got you a date, man. We'll make fun of you. This is what boys do. It doesn't matter if gay or straight, whatever. We're gonna fuck with you about whoever you're dating, but we will get you a date. God damn it.
Well, here's the thing. I wish I had the clip on me, and I don't know where to find it at the moment. We could find it eventually. However, there was a time back in the day we asked Derpy. Somebody did. I don't remember who it was. What was Derpy's record with girls? And somebody had said, Derpy, have you ever got any? And he'd said, oh, and it was so odd the way that he answered it.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, well, my dog, which he didn't do his dog. He meant that was his love. That was who he loved. And that's, So I just thought I would do something nice. And again, celebratory for the month. And again, for your ego, for one, if you win. But two, if he wins, we all win.
You know what? I'll be happy for the little guy.
Yes.
And hey, I will go on a, if someone wants to take me out to a dinner, a movie.
Well, that's on you.
Drinks,
I mean, if you
hell yeah, brother, ain't nothing going to happen, but I'll take a free meal. I'm not going to turn down a free meal.
Absolutely. If you choose to go on your date, that's fine. However, I think the bit itself, the premise will be funny, and this could be something that we could work on over the next day, and then over the weekend we'll see what kind of numbers Yin's guys pull, see if Yin's get attention, see if anybody responds, anything like. I'm not real familiar how the dating sites work. We'll get on, we'll figure it out. We'll make both you and Derpy a profile for a gay dating app, and we will see which one of you could can put together a higher score.
Imagine trying to explain that one to like friends and family members who are gay and they are on those sites, and they're like, "Are you trying to tell us something?"
Right.
It's a bit for the show, I tell you. Like, hey, it's okay. You can tell me in confidence. I won't tell. Literally, it's a bit
or a free
for the
dinner
show.
for Mike. So one way or another, everybody wins.
Hey, Sash, if you're listening, I'm not cheating on you. I'm just trying to get a free meal.
Yeah,
I'll bring the leftovers, buddy. I'll bring you the leftovers.
Welcome back, everybody. Glad to see us today. Welcome back to the show. Of course, this is the two Dum Yinzers. 981 is the episode. 19 shows away from the big 1,000, if you can believe that. I want to thank everybody who's been with us through all the ups, the downs, everything that's come along with you guys. Are the reason that this thing keeps on going. And guys, we couldn't appreciate you more. Thank you so much. I want to say what's up to everybody walking through the door. I'm going to grab these right now. As a matter of fact, before we do get started, we got some things to talk about today as the OTAs pick back up today for the Steelers on the south side. Also, Mike, they will be tomorrow finishing up OTAs, but next week they will have also an additional rookie school, Mike McCarthy's new rookie school, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So a lot of stuff to get into, Mike, some transactions, a few other things going on. We'll get into it all today, but let's get back on the board and say what's up to everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be coming from. Steelmatic Honda, welcome to see you. He says Steeler Nation all day, big baby. Great to see you on the terrible board. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the show. Tortilla says, all my homies hate the Aaron Fox. Guys, of course, the big basketball game that went down last night. We'll talk about that here shortly as the NBA series moves right along. Corey, what's up at Don't Drink That? Always great to see my man Corey Beavers popping in from the one of my favorite, from my favorite thing to watch on YouTube, of course. Don't Drink That. I'm into conspiracy theories. I always have. I always will. And I knew this, Mike, as I was a kid, and my grandma, she was big on these Inquirers and the garbage papers or whatever they used to call them. And I loved them. I loved the stories. I loved the rumors. I loved all this stuff, and just kind of kind of worked its way into conspiracy theories over time. And again, go check out Corey. I love everything that he has over there. Everything that I click on, I fall in love with. So keep up the good work, Corey. Great to have you by. Great to see you on the board, my man. That's right here on YouTube, everybody. Go check him out. Cody back in the house. Always great to see Big Cody. He says this. I haven't been able to watch the show in probably about a week. I don't know if it's YouTube or what, but it plays for a few seconds and then loads and repeats. That's the whole pod.
That's gotta be YouTube, brother. Messing up on something somewhere, because you're the first I've heard.
Go into like your files and see if you got to clear out anything. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's gummed up in your files. It could just be as easy as pushing a button. But it sucks to hear that, bro. I don't know if there's anything we could do to help. Let us know. Let's go to right here, Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says, "What's up, Yinzer? What's up, dude? Always great seeing Yinzer Joe on the board. My man, the original OG Yinzer Joe in the house. Great seeing you." Cody follows up his message, Mike, with this. That would be cheating for Mike because he's already on 10 of them. Of course, referring to the gay dating site apps, Mike.
Wouldn't that also imply, Cody, that you're on those same 10 as well? Not judging. Not judging.
Not there's anything wrong with it, but Mike, at the end of the day, I'm going to have to look into this because if you're already on there, I have to figure something out. Maybe we'll change your now. We'll figure it out. Let's go to right here, Tyrone in the house. My man, I was thinking about you. I was worried about you. I was even going to write you last night. I thought about you. I know that you had some kind of issue at work yesterday and you left to go to the hospital. Hope everything is okay with you. I just didn't want to impede, but I was thinking and I was going to check on you, sir. I hope everything is okay with you. Let's go down back to Cody. Cody right here says the Penn State dating sites, Mike. This is also what is known as the gay dating sites, I think is what's being said.
Oh, Cody. Can't say I missed you.
You know what? I miss Cody. I did. I always miss his humor. He's always a blast on the board. Let's go to Just Learning. What's up, dude? He says, "What's up, bros? Always great seeing Just Learning on the terrible board." My man, I know that you're getting ready. I know that you're getting excited because we are just next month. We're about a month, about 5.5, 6 weeks away from the start of Steeler camp at St. Vincent College in Latrobe. Just Learning. I know that you're fired up about that. Let's get to Mark Malone, man. The one, the only, the myth, the man, the legend, the mustache. Mark Malone in the house. He says, I put JPJ's new football card on the Discord. I'll check it out. We'll certainly check that out. If you didn't have a chance, go check out the Discord, guys. Maybe Mike, throw up the Discord link if you got it. Because yesterday I recommended going and watching that video, and I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe people aren't on our Discord. You could go and it's free. Go and check things out. You could communicate with ourselves and everybody that's on the board. It's also in Discord. It's a lot of fun. It could be a lot of fun. Perhaps if we used it more. We just don't really use it a whole lot, but it is there. But there, Mike has put up the code. Go check it out. Mark Malone in the general section has put up a really cool video about Three River Stadium. I talked a little bit about yesterday, Mike. And also there was a car chase. I forgot about this. There was a car chase that actually ran through Three River Stadium, the police chasing a car and the car going into the stadium. So many cool facts that you will learn about the old stadium if you go check out the video again. It was initially meant to be open on one end to see the stadium like PNC Park is. Three River Stadium, Mike, also was built on an Indian burial ground. I mean, this sounds like the poltergeist, and it is just like the poltergeist. However, this is real. Of course, the Three River Stadium, Mike, was built on an old Indian burial ground. So just some interesting things that you can and will learn by watching that video. Again, go check it out. It's only a few minutes long, the video, but you could go to our Discord. Just hit the link that Mike put up on the board below. It'll take you right there. And while you're there, hey, join. It's free. And like I said, you could keep in touch with everybody, not just ourselves, but everybody on the board as well. And, that's participating. And I think it's guys. I know that people, on the board, Mike, they have their own fun in their own ways, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So do join, swing by, check it out. There's the link. And do check out the first. And Mark Malone said, I was the reason for the car crash. But I do want to point out Mark Malone himself was in this video as well. Also, a little funny, there's just this little funny crack at Deontay Johnson. They just threw in there because, of course, I don't even know if Deontay Johnson was alive when Three River Stadium was there. But, Mike, at the end of the day, do check it out. I think that you will get a laugh out of that part, especially because it's kind of just thrown in there. So, again, do go check it out, everybody, at our Discord. Let's swing down to the Hold on, I got moved on me just a hair here. Okay, right here, I want to go back to the original OG Yinzer Joe. He says, Will Howard, the GOAT, LOL.
Ooh.
Interesting. I also do want to say what's up to Swaggy McNolegs. Welcome back to the show. Great to see you, Swaggy. Great to see you here. Nice to have you back on the board. That just hit me all of a sudden. What was that one guy's name that used to be a Swaggy P? Did we have a Swaggy P on the board at one time?
We might have. I can't remember.
Sticky P. It might be. I don't know. It's something. But that's what that name made me think
Sticky
of.
B.
What was it?
Sticky B?
Sticky D.
Sticky B. Sticky. That's going to be derpy after his
Sticky
dates.
B. A stinky B. A
Stinky
D.
That's definitely going to be Derpy's dates after they're done with Derpy.
Swaggy, welcome back to the show. Great to have you on the board, my man. Great to see you. Let's go back to the original Yinzer Joe. He says this, the original OG. I'm sorry, I always have things up, man. I just do. The original, my eyes and brain move faster than I don't know. Something's moving faster than something else. Let me just get it right into this. The original OG Yinzer Joe says this. Yeah, Ryan, I get 3 different notifications when you guys come on, but only one will work to view.
YouTube is be fucking up.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all YouTube.
I apologize about that. Again, I don't know anything about it. We could certainly look into it on our end. I don't know. It's crazy, man. And I have issues every now and then too, like when I watch other things. But we'll look into that. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Also, Cody. I'm sorry, Cody as well. Let's go right here to Mark Maloney. He said, I was the reason for the car chase. And it's funny, Mike, there is a police chase where the car actually goes into the stadium and continues in Three River Stadium. Very cool. Again, I do want to say welcome. Hello, Lindsay. Always great to see Lindsay on the terrible board. She says, hey, Lindsay, great to see you. Hope everything's going well for you. Lindsay, right here from Pittsburgh in the house. And then Mark Malone. Hey, Lindsay, exchanging pleasantries. Good afternoon. Good morning. Welcome back to the Two Dum Yinzers, guys. This is episode 981. We're getting there, Mike. It's summer. It's hot. I know most people are out of Steeler mode for the summer for months. And you know what? The diehards never give up. They are here every day, Mike, learning and talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, it's exciting and everybody can't wait for the season to come around. And, then there's the rest of us. We do what we do throughout the off season and just continue to get ready. And when it's go time, we're ready to go. No two ways about that. Let's go to the original OG Yinzer Joe. He says this: were Will Howard fans just as annoying as Kenny Pickett fans? That's interesting. That is very interesting. I don't know a whole bunch about that. I don't have much communication with many Ohio State fans. Of course, a couple here in the show, but that's really it. I'm not seeing all this yet, Joe. I apologize, Mike. Yourself, have you anything that Joe's talking about?
Oh, so some of them are acting like he is God's gift to football, and that they're offended that we drafted Drew Aller.
Is it because of he's from that call? I mean, is it all just
because
it's the homerism? It's the
homerism. He's like from Pennsylvania. He won a national championship, and he was drafted before Drew Aller was, because came
I'm so uninterested already. I
like people are trying to make a big competition and battle online between the two, and it's a big whopping nothing burger between the two, because it's going to be whoever's the best one is going to be the
maybe neither of them. That's the one thing that keeps popping into my head. It just might be neither of these guys when it's all said and done. But again, I am already bored with it. I don't care what Ohio State fans are saying, and I don't care what Penn State fans are saying, and I don't care. Who cares? What's the difference, right? What's the difference? I don't know. I'll keep you posted. Again, I probably have about 2 people in my life that's Ohio State fans. One's here and one's never here, so maybe you could figure that out just by me saying that. But
I'm not an Ohio State fan.
No, you're not. But on the board, Tyrone is, and then Derpy as well.
Yeah, I always forget Tyrone's an Ohio State fan.
Yeah. Sosh says, hello, dummies. What up, Sauce?
What up, Sauce?
His ears must have been tickling, Mike.
They were tickling.
We were just talking about you, Sauce, because we believe we're going for Gay Pride Month. we're going to set up dating profiles for Mike and Derpy to see who could pull more gay ass is the what we're going to do throughout the rest of the month. So we're going to work on this today, tomorrow, throughout the weekend. Then we're going to start revealing results as they come Monday throughout the rest of the month, and we're going to see who could pull more ass. And candidly, I think Mike mentioned your name, Sosh, but Mike is willing to take the winnings. And Sosh, oh yeah, I'll be over at Mike's profile. And here's also Mike something that we did learn. Mike is going to take the winnings and celebrate them because I was going to say we're going to hook Derpy up if he would win, and we could help him, just help him along. Or Mike said if he in fact wins, he will go out on a date for a free dinner. So it could get really exciting.
Leftovers being sent to you, Sosh.
And leftovers. Who knows? Sosh says he's going to be over at your profile, so it might. Who knows? Who knows what's going to go down? I'm just as excited as you are, Mike, for different reasons, obviously. But great seeing Sosh on the board, my man, all the way from Switzerland. Hope things are going well for you, my friend. Always love having Sosh here on the show. Lindsay says I'm offended we drafted Drew Aller, not because of Will though.
Yeah, I was annoyed too that we drafted him, and I rooted for him in college.
And here's one thing that we got to realize too as Steeler fans. This finding of a franchise quarterback isn't easy by any means.
Oh.
Because we have two young kids and they have two different, two skill sets. And it doesn't mean that one of these guys are going to be the future face of this team, this franchise. It doesn't mean they're going to be the Patrick Mahomes, the Ben Roethlisberger. That doesn't mean that. And the thing is, at the end of the day, Mike, I think people were thinking that it's simple. It's all said, done. We got these two guys. One of them is going to work. It's not that simple because even, Mike, had we taken Phillip Rivers or Eli Manning, it could have been a different story. Certain people are made for certain teams, different environments. And Ben Roethlisberger was a Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback. The guy was tough. He was, he broke his nose back in. He really fit the mold of somebody, the tough image that Pittsburgh generally has. So again, I think people are, a little too comfortable with what we have. When the fact of the matter is, I use the term catching lightning in a bottle because that's what it is. You have to have yourself in position to be able to do it. But you know what? Doing it is not the easiest thing. Like, you might miss a couple times swinging that bottle around trying to catch the lightning. But at the end of the day, it's a special player. Just because we got the kid that won a championship out of Ohio State, or just because we have a kid it doesn't mean that he's going to be that guy. And here's the thing. I think a lot of people are just assuming that it's going to work out that way. If it does, fantastic. Then we do have our guy. But at this point, Mike, at June 11, 2026, we don't have our guy. We don't have that future face, that franchise quarterback that's going to carry you to all kind of things that we want to do and we're used to as Steeler fans. And that player is usually camouflaged, as was Ben Roethlisberger, behind Eli Manning, behind Phillip Rivers. And if you would have asked me 23 years ago, Mike, which one of these three I want, I guarantee I wouldn't have said Ben Roethlisberger as my first response. So again, it's a tricky situation to get that guy. It's not easy. We're far from landing it. So again, let's do what we do. Let's continue to be competitive. Again, I think we are improved. I think we do better this year in a few different ways. We'll get into that here shortly. But at the end of the day, we don't have a franchise quarterback moving forward. And even if we waited and drafted Arch Manning, that's not a guarantee either. See what I'm saying? It's a difficult thing to do. And there's a reason that 31 other football teams also don't have this quarterback. It's a tough find. And again, to put yourselves in a position to be ready when you do find it is the best possible case scenario. And I think that we've been doing that for quite a few seasons. The way we're building this team, Mike, from the trenches out, the way we're adding players, the way we're shopping and working contracts the way that we are, we're putting ourselves in a position to when we are able to catch that lightning, we're going to be able to be a very competitive team and be making runs at it like we're used to, and maybe hop back into the game like New England did. And so many things, guys, still have to come along before we get that position, Mike, because again, a lot of people are assuming it's going to be one or the other, when it's a very good possibility that it won't be either one.
Yeah, and like we've been saying all along, we've been building this team, and like the way I put it, they're making the team more or less quarterback proof. And yes, I think this draft was kind of like the cherry on top of building that quarterback proof Sunday. Of now we traded and got Pittman Jr. Then we draft Jeremy. We drafted hopefully the future of the right side of the line. We got two really good running backs there. Offensive minded head coach or a really good offensive coordinator. Like, you just need a guy back there. Someone who can play at a high level, but who's just not going to be dumb back there, who's not going to turn the ball over, and who can take a shot when it's called for. This team's almost quarterback proof on the offense. And if you can't get a top 5 guy, get someone who plays smart football. Like I said, like that smart point guard that's just going to facilitate the offense, not going to try to go out there and be the hero. Just that's okay to be one of 11 out there. And sometimes that can work. If you can find someone that can play in the playoffs the way Jalen Hurts played in the playoffs, but a little bit better in the regular season, I will take that, 80% of the time, because I know how hard it is to get that franchise quarterback. I'd rather have that franchise quarterback, but if I can have a proof offense, I'll take that.
Look at 2005, 2004. We went 15-1, and if that team wasn't ready for a franchise quarterback, it just wouldn't have worked out.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't have went 15-1. We wouldn't have beat the Eagles and the New England Patriots, who were both undefeated at the time in consecutive weeks. So again, there's a lot of things that just falls into this category to get this right, because at the end of the day, you have to be ready. Mike, let's say you get a really good quarterback who's one of the best out there, and he gets drafted to a team like the Browns, and his career shits out like you've seen so many times. Yep. So it's a very intricate, tricky maze that you got to get through to find this guy. So again, at the end of the day, I'm not comfortable saying that we have one of the guys until you have a guy. I'm not comfortable saying that we have him. And as I said, Mike, the fact that we even caught Ben the way that we did, in the way that everything went, and we had a team built for him, and again, Eli got taken, and Phillip Rivers. So the whole thing was almost, the term I use, catching lightning in a bottle, I think is very accurate, because it's not an easy thing to do, to get that guy to be one of them top 3 to 4 quarterbacks that's on the face of the planet at any given time. Believe me, the number's minimal. And again, it's not an easy thing to do. So this is something that we just have to keep building the team.
Yep.
Keep building the team. That way, when you get the guy, you can place him and you're ready to go. Shoot out the cannon, Mike. But let's get into all that here in just a moment. A couple of things real quick before we do start full into the black and the gold, baby. Mike, the New York Knicks, they take the win last night after being down 29 points to the San Antonio Spurs. A big comeback. I think one of the biggest since the 1974, something like this. Mike, this puts the New York Knicks up 3-1 in that series in the NBA Finals. Game 5 will be Saturday, at 8:30. So the Knicks 3, the Spurs 1 in that series. Mike, the final count on that game was 107-106 after a 29-point comeback.
That is an epic comeback, and also an epic choke job by the Spurs. I'm not trying to sell the Nets short. They put themselves in that position. They earned that win. Next, but the Spurs choked it away, man. They came in and went for a layup, and all you really had to do was hold on to the ball or some shit like that. Make a 4-point play or some shit. Something stupid the guy did. Went for a layup, and they choked it away. But the Knicks, man, they put themselves in that position to win. They deserve that win, and it looks like they're going to deserve that championship, man. This has been a hell of a finals.
Mike, and then also the sister league, the NHL, they're back at it tonight. That series is tied 2-2 between the Hurricanes and the Golden Knights from Las Vegas. Game 5 to see who takes the lead in that series tonight. That's an 8:00 start in the NHL. And finally, Mike, the Pittsburgh Pirates, talking about comebacks, they have a nice 5-run 8th inning last night to come back and beat the LA Dodgers, one of the 2 best teams in the league, to even out the series 1 game apiece. Mike, Tyler Callahan, 2 home runs against the Dodgers. Ohtani ripped off on a home run. Brian Reynolds jumps up, grabs the home run over the wall. It was actually a really good game. Pirates, a big comeback. They'll be back at it today in the rubber match in the game between the Pirates and the Dodgers at home. Mitch Keller will be on the hill. Game 3 of 3.
Let's go Buccos. We need this one. We needed that win last night too.
We really did.
Talk about a great comeback. Comebacks were the thing last night.
Again, Jared Jones, Mike, he went out and did what he did in the bullpen. Again, we have to fix the bullpen. If they don't fix this bullpen, it's going to be over. And they got to really focus on getting that fixed. Let's get back to the board, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's time where we bleed black and gold to talk black and gold the rest of the day. Let's get back at it. I'm going to go right here to Cody. Cody says the YouTube short video has no pause, but the regular one is not working at all on my end. I don't know what's going on with that. We're going to look into some stuff today. I'm not real sure what the hell's going on. I apologize. Let me grab Yinzer Joe. He said the original OG Yinzer Joe says, well, to be honest, Pickett was a hometown guy and won big games and beat Marino's right. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, there's plenty to say that Kenny Pickett wasn't going to be a bad draft pick. Round one, obviously, absolutely not. But at the end of the day, are any of these guys Heisman Trophy finalists? No. So, you can chop this into a million different ways, whoever your guy is. And at the end of the day, I hope one of these guys are the guy. I'm ready. I'm ready for my franchise quarterback. But at the end of the day, you want the right guy. You don't want to be, pissing around 5 years from now with this quarterback going, oh, geez, if only he does this better. There's something that you're looking for. You kind of know who they are when you see them. You kind of know who they are when you don't, when you're looking at the wrong guy. So, again, I hope we get the right guy, brother. I'm a Pitt guy. I would have loved for Kenny to work, but he didn't. I'm on to the next. The Steelers are what's important to me. At the end of the day, I got my Pitt. They have more NFL Hall of Famers than any other team in the country, college-wise. So besides for Notre Dame, so I'm cool with that. Pitt's, they do what they do. They don't win a lot of football, but they put out good players. And that's what it is. I've come to accept that. Let's go back to Cody. Cody says, "You're a Penn State though, Mike. Same is what Cody is
Indiana
saying.
Hoosiers, baby. Indiana Hoosiers."
Sosh is saying, "Oh hell," he says, "I'll be over at Mike's pro." He's already over at your profile, Mike. We haven't had it.
I don't even have the profile up yet, and Sosh is there waiting.
So I'm going to need some very pretty pictures of you, Mike, to put up, and then also Derpy. I'm going to have to hunt and try to find
pretty
something.
Pictures, baby. You just clipped this live stream.
All right, don't be yelling at me because I put up the wrong picture when you're losing to Derpy. That's all I'm saying. Let's continue on. Let's go to Just Learning. He says Penn State's wrestling national champions record. Penn State, if you're in Pennsylvania and you're a wrestler, you're in the right place, baby.
Hell yeah, you are.
We do very, very well in wrestling, both Penn State and Pitt. A lot of great wrestlers for sure. Always great seeing Just Learning, my man. Let's go to Mark Malone. He says, we know Derpy can take Peach's strap on like a champ. He might have that advantage, Mike. He might have the advantage.
He might. He seems built for that type of work.
Yeah.
I got a bad
You mean
back.
work that doesn't work?
I
work
know,
that
right?
Doesn't work. That is what Derpy's
Hey, sex work is work.
I agree. I agree. Just because the government don't get the money, that's the only thing that keeps it illegal. I'm telling you. Let's move on. Let's go to Mark. Let's go to Tort. I'm gonna actually jump down, Mike. I'm gonna do a jump. Lindsay says, "Oh my God, love the poses, Mike. Love the poses."
Who doesn't?
See, I want something like that. Put your fingers on your. This is what I want for the gay page, for the gay profile. Page.
This is going on my main page.
Yeah, exactly. I will get that. I will go in. I'm gonna screenshot that exact picture as soon as this show is over.
Give me some eyeshadow. Fuck yeah, man. We're going all in, baby.
Tortilla says Howard also has normal size hands. Again, all of a sudden, people are so concerned about hand size. I don't know. You can either do it or you can't. That's just my opinion. Let's go here to Cody. Cody says this. Mike was high on Drew Aller. He got the clutch gene.
No, I was not, and no, he does not.
Yeah, didn't he lose a lot of football games? I mean, for Penn State quarterbacks, he certainly has. There's been quarterbacks that have won a lot more football games than he has. And you see how they done. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
We'll take the guy who chokes. Maybe he chokes in college and now he becomes a pro and he knows how to swallow. Knows how to handle the pressure.
Maybe. That's what they do in Penn State. Let's go here to the original OG Yinzer Joe. He says Aller may not have the accolades Howard does, but I think Howard could potentially be better than. I think he could be better. I think he's probably better than Rudolph already skill-wise. That's just me, Howard, and what Pickett was. We will see. There's been absolutely nothing to confirm any of these claims that people are making about Drew Aller. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to shit on him, but, people are going to say, well, James Franklin, the quarterback play itself, the guy went and learned nothing. They didn't teach him anything of value. I just don't know what the big the big thing is all the time with the Drew Aller. But you know what? Again, that's neither here nor there. Let's continue on. Let's go to Lindsay. Lindsay says, Tortilla said he's mad we didn't get back. Tortilla said he's mad we didn't get back. Beck, I'm so sorry. My eyes were crossed. I didn't read that correctly. I know that he is. And you know what? He still has that picture up on his as his profile picture too. My circles are small, Mike. I can't see a whole lot of detail in these, but I can see that Carson Beck picture is still up there.
It's creepy as fuck.
Let's go.
Carson Beck guys.
Let's go to Cody. Cody says, I think we would have had been good with any of those quarterbacks, but Ben Roethlisberger. You know what? I'm sure we would have, of course. Eli winning 2 Super Bowls, Phillip Rivers throwing for a lot of yards. Had he been on a different team, he could have probably had more success as far as that as well. But at the end of the day, it's the way that it worked out. And he was a Steeler quarterback. He just was. The guy was, again, he was rough around the edges. He was tough. He got his nose broken. It was literally placed on the side of his face in the game against Baltimore. On the sideline, he goes over and they crack it back into place. He sticks some toilet paper up his nose and back out on the field to win the football game. That's a Steeler quarterback to me. Again, if you want to bring back the old Steeler days, this is the kind of things that I look for as a player and when you're trying to do that. Let's continue down. Let's go right here. Where? But yeah, I agree. I think he was born to be a Steeler. Just Learning says, does Ramsey retire a Steeler? Interesting, Mike. I'm going to pass that to you because I don't know.
I don't think so. I think he plays out this year and is probably going to be let go next year because his contract, the cap hits like $21 million, and we can walk away free and clear of it. So I don't think so unless he renegotiates and comes back at a cheap value. And then no, he doesn't retire as a Steeler. Otherwise, I think he's going to go elsewhere and trying to keep playing, and especially if he has a really good year this year, and the Steelers can't renegotiate. Look for them to maybe trade him, cut him, and he goes elsewhere and plays.
Let me get in here with some transaction news this morning. A lot of things happening for the Steelers. Nothing that's going to make you jump off and start texting your friends. This happened, that happened, but things did happen this morning, guys. The Steelers sign. Mike, this guy is described as a freakishly athletic wide receiver in Joquan Davis. Mike, he is 6'4", but this is the number that concerns me. He's 194 pounds.
Oh my God.
6'4", 194 pounds. So freakish, I would say. Yes, I mean by size, because 194 for a 6'4" frame is really nothing, right?
Yeah, that is. That's tiny. That's like, you look at Wemby, how lanky and tiny he looks. Picture a young Plexico Burris, even skinnier than that. Yes, Lindsey, freakishly skinny. Yes.
So he was signed this morning, Mike, and that happened. We released a couple players. We signed a couple players. Of course, Joquan Davis, the receiver. Also, we're bringing back defensive back Darryl Porter Jr. Mike, he was here with us last year. He went somewhere in the AFC East. I think he's back with us now. So we did sign him back. And to make it all work out, we released the long snapper Cal Adominitis, and then we also released the offensive lineman Aiden Williams. So those two guys, if you have any connection to them, they are gone for now anyway, Mike. Also, Brandon Johnson, who we did release 2 days ago, of course, the wide receiver, he signs with the Las Vegas Raiders. So a lot of these guys that come, go, practice squad, not practice squad, they leave, come back, they're here, they're not. He will not be coming back as of right now anyway, Mike. He did sign with the Raiders. Mike, also, we did also release, he was released ultimately to bring in the punter that we brought in earlier this week, Aiden Laros. So for the losses, those are the gains. The gains, those are the losses. So we did gain Joquan Davis, the receiver. Darryl Porter Jr. is back, and also Aiden Laros, the punter. And these guys are on their way out. Long snapper Cal Adominitis, and offensive lineman Aiden Williams, and finally, of course, the receiver Brandon Johnson. Mike, the UFL having their championship game this weekend, and their MVP in the UFL, their most valuable player this season, is no one other than the former Pittsburgh Steeler, Hakeem Butler, wide receiver. Remember, we brought him up for a little while, a couple of seasons back. Mike, 2 of the last 3 years, Hakeem Butler wins the UFL Offensive Player of the Year award. He does it this year as well, Mike, for the St. Louis Battlehawks. 2 Offensive Player of the Year awards in 3 seasons.
Dude is a freak over in that league, and you see him come to the NFL, and you can see the talent just level. The gap between the two leagues is insane because this guy has trouble hanging on practice squads. he goes to UFL and dominates. So it's kind of rough. I wish he could catch on to the NFL because he's fun to watch, especially in the UFL, and you kind of want to see those guys start making it in the NFL more and more. But man, it's going to be tough for those guys to make it because if Hakeem Butler can't make it, it's going to be tough for like the position players to make it. But it's awesome that they have that league because those guys are still athletic freaks and they play some good football. And they do some weird play designs to free people open, different concepts. Coaches out there experimenting. It's fun to watch. But Hakeem Butler, I wish he could have hung around in the NFL.
Absolutely. We'll get into that and so much more, Mike, here shortly, but I don't want to get behind on the board. Let's get back to where everything is important. Important news right here on the board, Mike. I'm going to go to Sauce. Don't worry. We will trade up for CJ Carr, and we will win a Super Bowl within the next 5 years once we get rid of TJ's contract. Did somebody put earmuffs on Lindsay for that message? I'm sorry. I forgot the earmuff. I forgot to earmuff Lindsay. Let's continue. Up, Lindsay follows up right here. Mike, she says, Yinzer, I think Will or Drew will probably be better than Mason. I couldn't agree with you more. Let's do scoot down here to the original OG Yinzer Joe. He says, Lindsay, honestly, I think they are, and Mason will be traded or released. I ultimately at some point, Mike, you got to be able to release him because especially if one of these guys plan on moving up the list and ultimately wants to be that guy, being the backup quarterback, is the next step. So
Yeah.
again, if one of these guys could raise their play to be able to be that guy, then you could kind of set Mason Rudolph free. And at the end of the day, hope that you only minimally have to use that backup as we did last year in one game, a little bit more than a game, I guess, with the injury to Aaron Rodgers. But at the end of the day, Mike, let's say that Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. You won't; these guys won't need to even touch the field, but you'll still have somebody in that position who prepares throughout the season as they backup quarterback. And if they are called upon, they'll be able to come in. So again, I don't understand. I don't understand the I don't understand the love for Mason Rudolph. Beside the fact that he's been here a long time, under the old system, under the new coaching, or under the old system and the old coaching staff, I think it makes sense a little bit more. To me, Mike, I don't see much of an obligation for Mike McCarthy to keep Mason Rudolph around.
Neither do I, unless he's married to having a veteran presence behind Aaron Rodgers. But because if he really likes the two young quarterbacks, why not go with them? Because that way, if something does happen to Aaron, put one in. If they fail, put the other one in. If one succeeds, all right, you ride that hot hand until Rodgers is healthy. And you might as well see what they got. You're playing for now, but you're also playing for the future too. And if you think one of them can be the guy right now or have a chance to keep you above water, keep him and move on from Mason.
Let's continue. Right, let's go right here, Mike, to Somber. What's up, Somber? All the way from Los Angeles, California. He says this: if we don't want a person that turns the ball over, Mason should be gone. Always great to see a Somber. The original OG into Joe says this all reminds me of a raw John Elway. Let's go to see Ben was a raw John Elway. That was always the comparison with him as well. So that's an interesting take, Yinzer Joe. Let's go to Lindsay. I agree, Yinzer Joe, and I'm definitely hoping for that. Just learning says this: Howard going to the practice squad is my opinion. And the thing is, for me, Mike, it's so hard to tell because you have a couple of things that you're looking at. You're listening to what they're telling us from the OTAs every week from camp, and this guy's doing good, and that guy's doing good. And then you have the fan base who has a preference, one guy or the other. Me, I have to wait to see these guys play in preseason. That's just where I'm at. I don't have a preference one way or another at this point. I need to see the production. What if they come out in preseason? They both look like they're a mess. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
People are already putting these people as the franchise quarterback, the guy of the future. But again, watch football at the end of August, and we might get a whole different picture. All last year, like Brandon. I'm sorry, what's the
Skylar Thompson?
No, the running back. Brandon. No.
Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Johnson was so good. He does this well. He does that well. Out of Iowa, Caleb Johnson, such a skilled running back. He's going to be able to do this. He's going to be able to. The dude literally did two things all season, and one of them was terrible. So again, at the end of the day, the off-season talk, it is what it is. I can't commit to either one of these guys. I haven't seen either one of them play with a Steeler uniform on. All I have is college to go by. One's been out of college for a couple of years now, so there's a lot of factors that goes into this. And again, if going by preseason talk, Mike, we would have had one of the best defenses ever last year, and a Caleb Johnson who was going to be a big part of this team.
Yeah.
When neither of the two happened. So again, let's wait to preseason before we start making the calls. Again, that's not bad to have opinions, and again, I respect everybody's opinion as I always do. But at the end of the day, it's impossible to say what we have now. And again, I think it's going to be a blast watching these guys play in the end of August. Let's continue right here to Just Learning. Mason the Destroyer might thrive in the new system. If he could ever get that deer in the headlights look off of him, he needs to shake that. That's my first thing I'm watching for. He still doesn't look comfortable to me. He just don't look comfortable. Even as he looks more comfortable, he still doesn't look comfortable to me. There's always something about him that makes me think, geez, oh man, I don't know. Let's continue right here to Sosh. Sosh says this also, can Mike welcome me on Discord? I joined and everyone else, it seems I demand. Yeah, absolutely. Mike,
I already did.
Okay.
Already ahead of you.
All right.
Gotcha, Sosh.
Welcome, Sosh. And again, that video, if you go to the general, in the section that has all the categories, go to general, and the very last thing is Mark Malone's video of Three River Stadium. And again, I think it's awesome. Again, the car chase by the police into Three River Stadium. A lot of cool stuff you will learn. Go check that out. Let's go here to Lindsay. Lindsay says this: New York needs to get their shit together. How do you destroy your city when you win? And they haven't even won yet.
Yeah, usually like places wait until they win a championship to start destroying everything. The Knicks win a game and they're destroying everything.
And you know what gets me about New York? They have 14 fucking teams. You know, and they're so excited, like, oh my God, we have this team in the finals. Guys, you should be doing a lot better than that. I'm just saying. You got 2 hockey teams, you got 2 football teams, you got 2 baseball teams. You got with Brooklyn, you got 2 basketball teams, and then the New Jersey teams. And I mean, it's just there's a lot of teams up in that region to never have success in sports. I'm just saying, yes, the Yankees obviously won a lot of baseball games back in the day, but it's just to me, Mike. I know they're very excited, but it's because they got a team in the finals. You don't see it often in New York, which is crazy to me. It's all the money, the big market. You could be paying players a lot of money. And again, at the end of the day, you never really see these guys in the finals. But Mike, that is my team for the show. My team up 3-1. But hockey, I'm liking your chances, Mike, as Carolina is back at home tonight.
Yeah, Carolina's look good. It looks like they might be starting to take a little control of that series. Hopefully they do. I can't handle any more stress.
Let's go to Tortilla. He says you can take the fox out of the sack, but you can't take the sack out of the fox. I think we're going back to Darren Fox, perhaps, maybe in that comment for the Spurs. Let's go here to the original OG Yinzer Joe. Choking is the theme of the month, isn't it? Laugh my fucking ass off, Yinzer Joe. that was good. You know what? It's Gay Pride Month. That's getting a game ball. Right there, you got the game ball for that. Let's continue on. Sauce, he says, thank you, Mike. Mike got y'all taken care of. Tortilla says New York has been destroying their city, win or lose, for 25 years. Just Learning says Firefox is a good movie. Lindsay says literally they are disgraceful. Tortilla says I heard New Yorkers let anyone wearing a Spurs De'Aaron Fox jersey get safely. They Ubered those fans home safely. They did. Lindsay says, "Oh my God, Mike, love the poses." Well, that's you know what, in one way or another, whether he denies, whether he like that right there, I will get on and easily snapshot that and have that on his profile by the weekend. It's going to look great, guys. And we're going to share it. We're going to have it on the screen and have everything up so everybody can keep up with it and the whole process. I do want to say what's up to Christine. Always great seeing Christine on the board. Hello, everyone. Ryan, Mike, Christine, great seeing you.
What up?
Good. Are you in Kentucky? As the Steelers are working, they're getting there. They're getting there, Christine. It's not going to be long now as we are working our way into mid-June, if you can believe that. So it's going to be Pittsburgh Steeler time before you know it. Always great seeing Christine on the terrible board. The original OG Yinzer Joe says Kenny Pickett had a lot of help to win games. Yes, but you know what? Also, his help went to, I don't know. I'm not going to buy that because that help is good Pitt players. And you take the wide receiver out. Who else did they actually really have? They wouldn't have been anybody on Ohio State or, any other big teams. So, again, it's debatable. It's debatable. It would take a lot longer than the time that I have to have the debate with you, but I would love to. If you would like to continue the debate. Let's go to Tyrone. He says, hey, Christine, also, let's go here to Tortilla, my man, all the way from Sacramento, California, says Carson Beck wanted me first.
Ooh, he really wanted Tortilla.
Tyrone says, update on my... Okay, yes, thank you. Update on your lip. I think it's a canker sore or allergic reaction. You know what? My initial thought was allergic reaction. I didn't know to what or why, but when you said that, usually it's something with that area, the lip, the mouth. It's usually some kind of allergic reaction to my new anxiety meds. Thanks, everyone, for your time. Absolutely, sir. Hope things are getting better for you. Hope that's getting taken care of. Dude, always great seeing Dude in the house. JD, afternoon, fellas. My man, JD, what's up, brother? Great seeing you. Corey says, sorry, I had to back out. The feed was acting funny. You know what? I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's Facebook. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's YouTube or what, Mike. But again, I don't know.
I have a fear that it's YouTube, because there's like literally nothing I do on my end that can fix that. I just put the feed out and it goes to YouTube, like, and YouTube puts it out. It's a YouTube issue from what I've seen or what I can tell.
And also another thing, under our head coach at Pitt, believe me, things aren't good. This guy's not good. He's not a good coach. I'm just saying. If we would have had a good coach, he might have done better, I just didn't think that, I don't know. Let me move along. Let's go here to Somber. Somber says, stick figure. Yeah, I guess at 194 pounds.
Yeah.
6'4". Fuck. 6'4", 190 pounds. Who was the wide receiver we got a couple years after we had Plexico Burst? Remember when Ben wanted a tall wide receiver, Mike?
Oh.
Do you remember what I'm talking about? He didn't end up. He ended up not becoming anything. But we did go.
Limas Swede?
No, he was before Limas. Probably. It was 1 year because maybe right after Plex left, perhaps, because Ben was like, I want a tall receiver. They got somebody and he wasn't anything. He shit out, as a matter of fact.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't either. Lindsay says freakishly. Yeah, man, that is freakish. Somber says that's how I looked in high school. Most of us did. Most of us did look that way. Absolutely. Somber, my man. Let's continue down here to Lindsay. Yeah, Ryan, I choose to ignore that comment, of course, about TJ Watt earlier. And I figured that. If I would have had a heads up, I would have earmuffed you. But yeah, I get you. Tyrone says smart move. Just ignore him. Somber says, Ryan, love the drama. LOL, he'll read anything juicy. Yeah, I usually will. Tyrone says, but you want to entertain Mark, though. Lindsay says, you want to talk about Tater's couch. So Tater, he's been absent ever since he became a 49er fan. I'm wondering if just that lack of Pittsburgh hate is driving this at all, Mike, because again, not much Tater ever since he jumped over to San Francisco to the 49ers.
I know he's calmed down. I don't know if it was the jump to being a 49ers fan, or did Lindsay tame Tater? She found a way to calm him down. She's the Tater whisperer.
Yeah, women think they can fix everybody. Maybe
she fixed Tater.
Yeah. Somber said, oop. Lindsay says Somber million. Tortilla says Tater drinks purified beer. It wasn't Sammy Coates either. Who the hell was it? Was he out of Georgia? I don't know.
Sammy Coates, he was out of
Auburn. It wasn't Sammy Coates is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The guy was out of Georgia. I'm trying to think of I can picture him. He was a tall, lanky dude. I don't know. Look whatever year Plex.
I'm going to pull up Steelers rosters. And that's going to go find out when Plex left.
Look when Plex left, and then go to like the next two drafts.
Yeah, give me a while. Give me a while. I'm going to look this shit up.
Let's see. Somber's cracking me up today. Somber's wild, man, for sure. Dude says never thought much of Mason Rudolph until he won 3 games. I know. That's an argument. Certainly an argument. He did find ways to win those games. You are right. Let's go here to Ty. Says, where are my ribs? Where's my ribs and Mac? That's toward Lindsay, of course. Mark has them, is what she says in return. Yinzer Joe says, Juan Thornhill cursed the defense that last year by making that statement iconic. What happened to Thornhill?
Did we cut him during the season?
I don't remember. Didn't he end up in Cleveland? Something happened with him. Yeah, you're right.
See, the year after Plex left, we had Nate Washington.
No.
Quincy Morgan.
No.
Cedric Wilson.
No. Was that the next year? Look at the next year then.
That was the next year. So I'm gonna take a look at 20.
I mean, I'm talking about the next year after the one that you just read.
Yeah. I was thinking out loud.
I wouldn't say. I was
thinking out loud.
I wouldn't say the next year mean the year that you just read to us. Is what I'm saying.
Ward, Holmes, Washington,
Fred
Wilson,
Gibson, Tyrone nailed it right there. Fred Gibson. That's who I'm thinking of.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was tall.
Wow.
And that was why they targeted him. Fred Gibson. That's exactly who it is. Good heads up, Tortilla.
I knew someone would
Tyrone,
figure it
sorry,
out on
my
the
man.
board.
Yeah, Tyrone.
Don't remember they look the same.
I just have to thank him, like, without talking over me. Thank you for that, Tyrone. Let's continue on. Let's go right here.
Shut up.
Lindsay says, this Tater had them last night. He fell more in love. Let's go. Never mind. I'm good. Tyrone says, let's go here to Tortilla. JPJ dropped the tray of ribs.
Oh.
Tyrone, I'll have TJ make them. Tortilla says this. TJ accidentally punctured his ribs. Let's go here to Ty. He says, thanks, brother. I took PTO today. I woke up I'm just gonna. Yeah, some days that's what's right there, man. Take the PTO when you need it, dude. And then once you get through the time, you realize, hey, I don't need it, then just use it because. But I hope things get better for you, dude. Let's continue on. Let's go down here to Corey. Corey says this. I think it was on my end, guys. I went to another video and came back, and it was fine. It must be calibration with the live and my reception. It's all good now. I'm not sure, man. Sammy Coates. No, I think that's who. I think it was Freddie Gibson. And he just shit into nothing. I mean, he was like really nothing. He wasn't even a high pick, as a matter of fact. He was.
Dude, there were like no stats for Fred Gibson.
Yeah, because he was. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't any good. He was tall, and I remember that was the thing. Ben was like, "Give me somebody tall. I want a tall wide receiver." It was after Plex left, and that was the tall receiver. And of course, there's a reason that probably many people don't remember the name, as we were trying to remember it. Tater, Nato Potato. Tortilla says, let's go here to Don't Drink That. Was it Eli? Right? It wasn't Eli. But hearing a lot of these names is really taking me back. Some of these receivers' names, of course. Let's go Tater. Oh, Tater, of course. And Lindsay says, I fix no one anymore, but I do tame the beasts. I like it.
Oh, she tames the beast. Rawr.
You know, one thing that I do realize is nobody's fixable unless they want to be fixed. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, you have to want to do the work.
Absolutely. That's where I think a lot of people fall into that problem. Somber, ayo, always great seeing Somber on the board, and I think that was, of course, in response to Lindsay taming the beast. Let's go down here to Tortilla, like Star Wars beasts. Tortilla asks, Freddie Gibson Tyrone is exactly, yes, that is exactly who I was trying to remember. Tortilla says, or Harry Potter beasts. Lindsay says this in response, never saw any of them, Tortilla, sorry. You know what? I don't think I have either, to be honest. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says, you're welcome. Let's go to Tortilla. Tori says, Lindsay taming things she can't even see. Yep, Lindsay's... Tyrone says, Lindsay's tanning probably. Somber says, then we got Martavius. Yes, absolutely.
Talk about a beast.
Let's get more into it, Mike. Some Pittsburgh Steeler talk. Patrick Graham. A lot of talk about this defense being improved. Patrick Graham. A lot of people keep saying this name, and I'm starting to believe him. But and you know what? Again, Mike, it always has to come down to I have to see to believe it most of the time. Anyway, Mike, this has been a problem for Patrick Graham over 7 seasons as a defensive coordinator in the NFL. Of course, third down, getting off the field on third down. Patrick Graham has never, in his 7 years of being a defensive coordinator, been above average, Mike, on third down conversion rate. In 25 last year, his team was 30th overall. In 24, his team was 17th overall. In 23, his defense was 23rd in 24 was 17th overall. In 23, it was 27th overall. Mike, his defense in this category, third down conversions in 2022, was 26th overall. In 2021, it was 16th overall. In 2020, his defense was 24th overall. And in 2019, his defense getting off the field on third down conversions, Mike, was 24th overall. Never above average, never above 16 in this league, Mike, as a defensive coordinator. So again, it falls in that category. I got to see. I have to see.
Yeah.
I got to see, because everything that I'm being told would make you think that, this is a huge improvement. Mike, we have to fix this problem. Getting off the field on third down. This guy literally has a resume that says he can't do it well. He can't do it to the top half of the league or better. It's all 7 years of the defensive coordinator, Mike. He's been below average in this category. Is this going to be a problem?
It could be, because kind of like Somber said, he's never had this level of talent. But, you would hope some of those stops where his defenses were in 2023, where like points per game, they were 9th. 2020th, his defense with the Giants, they were 9th. You would hope in those years you would have some, not giving up a lot of points that you're getting off on third down. And they really weren't. They, like you said. And it could be that's a bit concerning, because that's the money down. That's where we have been having problems. We would get teams into really advantageous, third downs, third and long, so we can't get off the field. Are we going to rehash that again? If we do, it could turn into a potentially very long season. But I'm kind of leaning towards like what Somber's saying, like the talent level for a lot of these defenses. They're like, he had like a guy in Max Crosby and the Raiders, really no one on the Giants, and he was able to make some stuff happen, put up some decent numbers in some areas. But man, like you said, that third down, you can scheme that with bad talent. You can find ways to get off third down.
Any way you slice it, Mike, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's the Giants, doesn't matter if the Raiders. The guy in his 7 years of being a defensive coordinator never was above average. Everything has been below that, Mike, all the way down to 30. So again, say what you want. This team didn't have this team didn't have that. You had Max Crosby, you have Spillane, you have this, that. It never has been done. It didn't matter what team. Yeah. So, we're assuming that we have this better defense, so things are going to work out. But again, there's literally zero number-wise in his record, in his past, that shows that he could get that done.
Yeah, and you're hoping, like just looking at the marrying the stats and like the context and the circumstances that, okay, you can put the whole story, okay, this is why. But, what is the common factor in all of those seasons? It's the defensive coordinator. What have we been saying for the past 5-6 years here? Common denominators were Tomlin, and then, towards the end, Terrell Austin. Like, is the coach the common denominator in all of these scenarios? Or is it the talent level with him, and then it was the coaching level and the coaching ability here? Because if that's the case, that gives me hope, because now we've got a better coach, and now he has better talent to work with, and the talent has a better coach to work with. Those numbers will increase. But I'm right there with you, brother. Like, I want to see it before I believe it. Like, I need to see it, because there's no track record there of, like you said, that third down success. And then that's been what's been killing us here.
A couple times close again with getting to 16. I mean, that's, of course, the closest he's got, being out of 32 teams. But again, in 2025, last season, 30th in this category. The year before, 17th, then 27th and 26th, and 16, 24th, and 24th. Again, pretty much everything in the 20s and beyond, with the exception of 2 years. So again, just another thing to keep in mind as people continue to tell us that this is great, this is great, this is going to be great. Because again, how many times this happened and we go into the season and go, we were supposed to be able to do this well. We were supposed to have this elite defense, this whatever the term was used, and we let up 250 yards rushing to the Buffalo Bills. So again, more seeing to believe for me. Again, I hope by everything I'm reading, things are going to be better in that category. But Mike, getting off the field on third down is huge, especially if you're going to be a successful team in the NFL.
Yeah, but I do like the way he I have a little write-up, a little summary, like the way he blends and mixes, like the way he blitzes, the way he simulates pressure, The way you look like you're just playing zone, and next thing you know, you got late rushers coming in.
Mike, what if the
confusing
Raiders'
line.
lack of success wasn't because they had bad players? What if it was because of the defensive coordinator?
Could be.
I mean, again,
Could be.
I
We
only
got
know
to
that
take that into effect too.
absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm just hoping like
Because we had good players and our defense wasn't good under one
Yeah.
coordinator. Perhaps he didn't have good. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm just hoping like the way his scheme, the way he runs things here will blend well with our talent. 'Cause it sounds like it will, because these guys love to blitz, but they also love to sit back and wait for people to and wait to hit people, and they're not afraid to drop back into coverage. TJ Watt's not afraid to drop back in coverage. When he does, he's not bad in zone coverage, making key interceptions. He knows how to read those plays. So if he can instill that into him, and teams thinking he's going to be coming off that side, you're going to put three guys over to his side. You blitz someone up the middle because they're anticipating the slide. Watt's dropping off into coverage. Quarterback throws a hot read, not anticipating him there. Watt's there. Then get the turnover rates up, making those big splash plays, and I could potentially help the third down, percentage be better. It's just little things throughout his career, and that I've noticed the way he does things. I think they work really well with our players. It's stuff we've seen like done here in the past under people like Dick LeBeau, under people like all the way back to Dom Capers. Those what they used to call the zone blitzes, and he does a lot of unique stuff like that to disguise coverages, disguise what's confused the offenses. I'm willing to give it a shot. I want to give it a shot because I like the talent we have. I like his philosophy. Let's see if it can all marry together.
Yeah, I mean, we will see. That's the only answer. So again, we could speculate till we're blue in the face, but until it happens, because people told me a lot of things were going to be a certain way, and again, it came to Sundays before we could actually find out the answer when it was all said and done. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says that catch versus the Bengals lives rent free in my head. Somber says, yeah, I'm not too worried about the defense. To be honest, Patrick Graham has never had this level of talent to mold. Let's continue here to Ty. Tyrone says this. I'm still worried about it. But I do have a way more faith in Graham than Tomlin, Austin's scheme and decision making. I hope he uses TJ better. And 5. Let's go to Somber. Somber says, when Robert Spillane is your best player, other than your edge rusher, you might have a problem. Then he goes on to say, two messages down, no hate on Spillane, neither. Same with me. I actually liked him as well. Joe says, if Graham doesn't coach his high talent level defense well, we will get another coordinator next year. Yeah, we'll just we'll figure it out eventually if that's not the case, Let's go to Somber. Somber says, yeah, I actually liked Spillane. Let's be real. I agree 100%. Let's go here to Ty. Ty says, same with McCarthy. I trust him with offense. Then Smith, Canada. Hope we can get back to the Todd Haley days. I want to talk a little bit about some things that Vince Williams said here in just 1 second, Mike, about the defense. Let me get a couple more of these messages knocked out. Tyrone says that pick versus the Rams was so cold. He's the GOAT. Somber says, if I'm not mistaken, Patrick Graham's defense in Vegas ranked higher than ours last year. Right, with that roster, I'm not sure. I know that this getting off the field was pretty damn low on third down, 30th.
It all depends on like what category you're looking at. Like they were better in some areas, we were better in the others. And like yardage wise, I think they were better and we were better in points. I think that's how it went. I haven't looked, and it all depends by what you mean by overall. Like overall, like I know a lot of people will rank defenses by yardage. I like to rank them by points given up. So
I don't know
which one you prefer.
Joe says, wish we would have kept the Landon Roberts. He was good on rundowns, could have used him and then swapped on passing downs. Again, he was a little hammer. He really was. The dude was not afraid of getting his hat in there and making a play. Tyrone said, yes, Somber Raiders were ranked 17. We was like 26th. Somber saying overall. So again, I hope you're right. Listen, I don't want to I don't want to be right. Go ahead.
The Steelers had the edge Steelers had the edge in points allowed. We gave up 387. Raiders gave up 434. Yardage wise, Raiders gave up 5,400. We gave up 6,000. We gave up average 22.8 per game. They averaged 25.4 per game. Yards per, but the Raiders had a better yards per allowed, and then so it goes back and forth.
Let's go here to 14. I can't believe MVS gets a whole month. And also Tyrone says Raiders was ranked 14. Damn. That was funny. That was funny, Tortilla. Mike, let's get into some things that Vince Williams, of course, everybody remembers Vince Williams, was here with us. Mike, he says these things about our defense. Right here, Vince Williams says this. He strongly endorses Patrick Graham. He says he really knows what he's doing, Mike. He is a genius. These words were said by Vince Williams when talking about Patrick Graham. So again, more good words.
Yeah.
But again, at the end of the day, the dude never had a season above average in getting off the field on third downs. Again, am I sticking to one particular thing and keep repeating it? I am, but I just keep reinforcing the point that I made. So at the end of the day, I'm hoping for the best, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong, and I'm hoping with the right group of players, and I'm hoping that this is the right group of players that he would need to do that. All works out, and we could have one of the better defenses in the league and get off the freaking field on third down and everything else. But Vince Williams, Mike, do you agree? He says he strongly endorses Patrick Graham. He says he really knows what he's doing, and he refers to him as a genius.
We'll see. We'll see. I hope he's right. And back to the third down thing, we thought we were bad on third downs last year. Opponents converted 41.5% against us, and I think what you said, Ryan, was like 46% against the Raiders last year. Okay. That's a significant jump, right?
It needs to get down. Whatever the hell it is, we need to get off the field on third downs better.
Yeah, they were better on fourth down, so they got us there.
No, yeah. Let's go right here, and let's see, where are we at? Okay, I think I got it. Tyrone, and he was 26. We was 26. Somber says this. Somber says that's what I saw as well. Tyrone, Yinza Joe, my man, he says this. Yeah, Steelers let up a lot of yards, but Steelers didn't give up the points. Yeah, I know they did seem to tighten it up in the red zone. Corey says this. Did you hear the Todd Haley on his podcast where he talked about his experience with Ben? He said it was he said he was initially pissed for ending up in Pittsburgh. He acted like he was forced into it. Interesting. I did not see it. Corey also said rigged, maybe. LOL. Somber says this. Ben don't break. That's about it too, man. And that's the thing about the NFL. It doesn't matter what you think about a defense. It's always going to be Ben versus break, or Ben don't break. Good defenses don't shut everybody down constantly. It's not like the old days where you just go and you dominate entirely. It may happen in a game, 2 games, maybe teams that you're better than. But at the end of the day, the bend don't break that's the way to be. And if you do it well, you're a better defense. Other than that, Mike, because these are NFL teams you play against. The offense, even on bad teams, are some of the top class athletes on the planet and the best at what they do. So at the end of the day, that's what it's got to be. It's got to be bend, don't break. You're not going to stop everybody. You just got to figure out how to keep them out of the end zone as much as you can.
Yeah, and remember, every team has holes somewhere along the lines, and these guys that are going up against them, they're professionals. They're going to find a way to exploit it as well too, man. And that's why the NFL they say literally any given Sunday. That's why you can see like when the Chiefs were flying high, just when the Raiders were dog shit, the Raiders would find a way to upset them. It's the NFL, man. One week you're flying high, the next you're getting ran over.
The Steelers, one of the top, and again, Mike, through the last 10 years, very successful, and even through the last 10 years, still very successful overall. Mike, a team like the Steelers couldn't figure out how to beat Tom Brady in any capacity, yet the Jets would find a way to get a win against them. Yet the Dolphins would find a way to get a win against them, and then even the Buffalo Bills, who were terrible for a period of time, they would find a way to get a win against them every now and then. So you're playing top end athletes no matter who you play. Let's get back on the board right here where Tyrone says, "Yep, we better do better this year." Somber says, "Not a fan of bending." Don't know, did he? Lindsay, Somber means full diddy. Let's go here to Ty says, "With this roster, I hope Graham." Me too, dude. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, I want everybody to be right. I don't want to, I don't want to say I told you so. I want this fucking team to win. Stop other team. We just need to score more points than the other squad, baby. Tortilla, our defense could have used some lube. Somber said, or a yoga mat. Let's go here to Somber. If Patrick Graham can get the defense to hold a lead into the second half, he's already in. I agree. Holding that lead, of course, has been an issue. Tortilla says this. He says 10 sets of tomfoolery. And I do want to say welcome to Eric. Eric's on the board. He says Patriots will be the AFC and Super Bowl champs. There you go.
Ooh.
That's a pretty big take, but you know what? Hot take. We will see how that plays out. Let's go here to Tyrone. I do want to say welcome to Eric. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the board. Tyrone said, I'm more excited for an offense, though. We have wide receivers and an offensive line finally, and as am I as well, brother. Mike, so that was said by Vince Williams about Patrick Graham. Vince Williams also all in on Jaquan Brisker. Mike, he's saying he's amazing. He's going to be an amazing Steeler playing for his hometown Steeler team. Mike, your thoughts on what Vince Williams has to say about Jaquan Brisker?
Dude, Vince Williams is not the only one excited. I am. I love this guy. I love this kid. Yes, he's a Penn State guy. Yes, he played with Joey Porter Jr. But when you watched him in college, he was a highly regarded safety coming out of college, of a guy that can lay the lumber, can play a center field if you need him to. He's just an all-around safety. He's a damn good tackler. Yes, Tyrone. He's dirt cheap at $5.5 million.
Let me ask you real quick, Mike, just for the sake of it, what if he was a Buckeye?
I would have hated him in college. Fucking hate him in college. Would have hated him in college. Would have hated him in college, but he came here. I'd fucking love him. Kind of like Cam.
Fair enough.
Like Cam.
Fair enough.
But no, he's a damn good player. He's not afraid to get up in there and lay the lumber, but that also comes with the downside. I mean, does have a concussion history. I think that's why we got him cheap and only for the year. So if he can go through the season without a concussion and still laying those hard hits and playing center field when needed, I think it was a bargain, and this cat's going to be so much fun to watch.
All right, so there we go, Mike. There's a little bit that was said by Vince Williams. I wanted to touch base with you today, see how you felt about that. Of course, a little bit about Brisker, a little bit about Patrick Graham. Getting very excited about everything. I know that I sure am as a Steeler fan. Let's just stay on the board here for a little bit, Mike. I see that we have some messages coming through. We are also going to talk about some coordinators today. We're going to talk about Angelichio. We're going to talk a little bit more about Patrick Graham. We do have some more stuff coming up here. A lot to get into as far as contracts on the second hour here, Mike. So do stick around, everybody. We have a lot going on. I'm going to jump in and try to find where we are. And I do believe we're right here. Tyrone says, dead ass somber. Eric says, thanks, guys. No problem, my man. Thank you for being here. It's always great to hear every opinion. And that's what we do here. So Tyrone, yeah, Brisker's a beast. We got him at 5.5. Wild sheet, baby, for show. And you know what? Again, at the end of the day, Mike, it just seems like we were doing so much in the secondary. So if a guy does shit out, like Darius Slay shit out, and even Thornhill shit out, guess what? We still had people coming at the defensive back positions, whether it was safety, whether it was corner, and we're putting ourselves in that position again. And I like that because at the end of the day, sometimes some guys just don't work out. Depth has been something that I think that we've been doing really nice, with the exception of inside linebacker. And of course, over time, we're going to get the depth back at wide receiver. But as far as depth, Mike, the offensive line, the secondary, areas that we needed to work on in the past, they're looking good. And then, as I said, over time, those other areas as well will be getting working on the depth. But very excited about what we're seeing from our secondary. And in a passing league, this is what you got to pay attention to. You have to focus on secondary. You have to focus on stopping the pass because, again, at the end of the day, when it's fourth quarter, and a lot as lately, Mike, as, of course, the NFL and Vegas has jumped into bed, it seems like every damn game comes down to that last drive of the game. So if a team's going to be passing the ball against you at the end of the game to try to score, you got to have a good secondary back there. So we're putting ourselves in the right positions, I do think. Yeah,
and I tell you what, Omar Khan and Weedle, they do a great job of finding safeties.
Yeah. Absolutely. They find safeties like I've never seen. Let's continue on. Let me see. Go down here. Eric said, when I was in the Army, I had a very first close friend from Pittsburgh. The first time I heard him say, Yins guys. That's awesome, my man. Glad to have you, Eric. Even if you are a Patriots fan.
Yeah, I know. Hey, we allowed a Browns fan on the board.
What the thing was? I don't know. I have no issues with Patriots fans. Let's go down. Let's go right here to. And the thing is, the only thing I would have against them is they like a team that's not my Steelers. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I have no issue. Not yet, anyway. Let's continue. Let's go to Corey. Don't drink that. He says, "Look, I'm going to be realistic. We're either going to dominate on offense or defense, or we're going to be balanced with holes on both sides, whether it's due to injury or talent." Good point, Corey. Good point, Corey. Let's go to Tyrone. He says JPJ, Dean, J. Ram, Samuel, Everett, Eccles, Elliott, and Brisker. Safety as a whole defensive back group. I got us ranked 3rd in the league. And you know what? Pound for pound on paper, it is up there. So, again, we got to get out there and perform and get it done on Sundays, Thursdays, and Mondays, Mike, because, again, last year we were told great things about the defense. So hopefully the changes, the overall coaching, the defensive coordinator, the players, hopefully we do get that improvement, because if we're sitting right around 3, baby, we're right in this thing. We are right in this thing.
Yeah, this team is looking really, really good. I can't wait. I can't wait for the season to start to see if we're all right with our predictions, man.
Carson Beck has Buck's eyes, and Tyrone hates him. Corey says, I'm leveling my expectations. Absolutely, man. Eric says, I was like, what the fuck? I know we had a friend here one time that came to stay from Illinois, and they were leaving to run down to the store. And I'd said to my ex at the time, I said, Yin's grabbing popping that. And this chick looked at me like I was fucking, like I had 7 heads. She goes, what did you just say? I said, Yin's grabbing pop in that. She said, what? I said, are Yin's grabbing pop in that? And it took forever to explain that I just asked if they were grabbing soda, I guess.
Yeah.
Most people call it. And I have another quick story about that real quick. I thought of this the other day off the air. I am so, listen, people say, oh, these Yinzers, they just kind of make, no, listen, this is the way we talk. I was a kid, probably about 12 years old. I'd say 12. And you know, remember the ice cream truck used to drive around? And okay. So they pulled up, and I would always get something, as most kids did. And there was always that one box on there that would have a can of soda, and it would say soda on the can. Did anybody recall this? Seeing that? And it was the ice cream bars, the ice cream sandwiches, and then soda. And I remember telling my mom, I was about 12 years old. I said, Mom, I want some soda. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I want soda. Give me $1. I got to get soda. It's something new, I said. She goes, no, that's pop. I go, it ain't pop. I said, it said soda. It's something different. She was like, no, I swear to God, it's pop. I did not know that the whole world called it soda. I'm such a Yinzer, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I thought that it was wrong or something different because it didn't say pop on it. And it wasn't like a Pepsi can. It was just an animated.
Yeah.
And it said soda, and I didn't know. I swear, 12 years old, I had no clue that soda was soda.
Dude, how about my kid calls pop soda?
Does he really?
Yeah, he'll be like, Dad, is that your soda? I'm like, who are you? We are getting DNA tested right now, because I don't say soda. Your mother doesn't say soda. No one in your family says soda. Who the hell are you?
I can't even make myself say soda now.
I hate it. It's just cringe. It feels on chalkboard, bro. Soda.
Listen, I have nothing against anybody who says soda, but it's just such a weird thing to me to hear. Like if I'm watching TV and someone goes, "Hey, grab a soda," I'm like, I pick up on it every time. It isn't something that just goes without me thinking. I think about it every time I hear it. You know,
you call them pop soda is like the British call them cookies biscuits. No.
French fries, chips.
Exactly.
Let's move on though. That was I can recall, Mike, and again I was old enough to know better. We grabbed Dukes. That's right, baby. That's right. We sure do.
Tortilla, you get my game ball.
All right, there you go. Yeah, Lindsay, I couldn't agree more. This ball. And
Lindsay, you get my game ball.
It won't ever, like I said, Mike, it won't ever be said without at least me acknowledging the fact that somebody said soda. Like it never slides by. It just doesn't. And again, I'm not trying to be anything. I'm not trying to be this. I'm not trying. It's just that's the way it's been my whole life, and it'll always stick out when somebody says soda to me. It just will. And again, nothing wrong with it. It's just it is what it is. Let's continue on. You know what? And I think you're right, Sombra. I'm pretty sure it's probably a huge minority. As a matter of fact, he says pretty sure if you say pop, you are in the minority. I think it is a huge minority. The more I learn,
and God damn it, we're a proud group.
That's right. So it makes us Pittsburgh, baby. Let's continue forward here. Let's go to Ty. Ty says this. I'm not really sure if this is where I'm at. Let me go see. Yes, right here. Somber says, ha ha ha. That's so cute. Tyrone says this. Mike, I think Brisker is like Elliott type wide receiver. Signed him 1 year, $3 million, balled out. Got 2 year, 12. If Brisker can do that, I think maybe 2 years, 20. Mike, I also am going to get your take on some contract questions I have here at the end of the show. Let's go down here. Lindsay, she's funny as fuck. Somber, don't got to tell me twice. Tortilla, Yin's grabbing Papa Nut.
Fuck you, Tortilla.
Let's
Game ball rescinded.
Somber says, stay golden, pony boy. Let's go here to Tortilla. We grab Duke's around here. That's right, baby. You know what? I'm going to throw it in right now. And if you are thirsty, do go get yourself a case, Mike, of Duquesne Pilsner. You can get it in 12 and 6-packs now at Giant Eagle or wherever cases are sold. The people over there at Duquesne Pilsner always do good by us, so we do good by them, and we ask them for your support. Maybe you don't drink beer. That's okay. Go check out their social media. They are all over on social media. Swing by, hit the follow button. Guys, we always have Duquesne Pilsner on tap here at the studio for every event that comes along. Mike, made right here in Pittsburgh. It says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Lindsay says, yes, it's pop. Yeah, I agree. It just is. And the thing is, I'm not trying to be special. I'm not trying to be anything. I'm probably going to say pop the rest of my life. It's like going in and rewiring. You know what I mean? I would have to go in and really focus on rewiring. Ty says, yeah, pop. Somber says, pretty. Okay, we did get that one for sure. Lindsay says, now we are the majority, baby. Let's go down to Steel Loyal. Y'all a bunch of Yankees. It's Soda. LOL, my man Steel, all the way from North Carolina. Always great seeing you, brother. He says, you're a bunch of Yankees. It's Soda. And you know what? That's cool because North Carolina, I get it. The South, certainly, it definitely says Soda. And you know what? I have no problem with it.
Steel is on the list now with Cody.
You know what? You can say different things and still be cool with each other. What the fuck is?
I'm cool with Steel.
No, listen, I'm not referring to what you just said. I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying in general. Why can't we have different opinions anymore? It makes me nuts.
But Steel's on the enemy list. Just for that. Got my eye on you.
There you go. Lindsay says, I was just thinking about our discussion on this Steel. Let's go down here to Ty. I meant we are not wide receiver. My bad. Tyrone says just meant basically Brisker can get a 2-year deal if he balls out like Elliott did. Gotcha. Somber. Nationally, about 25% of 25 to 40% of Americans use the term pop, which I think that's high. I would have assumed it was lower, but let me finish. Nationally, about 25 to 40% of Americans use the term pop, or roughly 53. See, that's a lot closer than I thought it would be. I thought a lot more people would certainly say soda because I know all the South, they all say soda. And then again, let me continue. More than I thought, but y'all would die and breed, LOL. But you know what? As long as the Berg's here, baby, it's not going anywhere. I can promise you that.
We are holding the line. We're like in Band of Brothers when they're in Bastogne, in that force. We were holding the end of the line. The Germans are not getting through. The soda is not getting through. Ryan and I are heroes. God damn it.
We're something. Let's continue on. The board, Mike, I'm going to go right here. But thank you for all the statistics, Stellenberg. You know that you're the man. He pulls them up, man. He pulls them out real time, and I got to be honest with you. We certainly appreciate you.
Yeah. I love it, but I don't love it when he fact checks me.
No, see, that's when I really love it when he fact checks you.
It is always because of my pronunciation of people's names.
That's my favorite part of the whole show.
It's secretly mine too, but I hate it.
Let's go to Corey. Corey says, I get aggravated when people call soda pop, LOL. My oldest son calls me pop, and I'm like, what the fuck is pop? It doesn't say it on the can, but it does say soda, LOL. Let's go to Han John. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Han John on the board. Han John says, not playing a last place schedule this year in 6 months of watching the blueprint on how to beat the Patriots. You know what? The Patriots are a good organization. At the end of the day, they used to beat us before remember the 90s, guys? Think of that 7-6 win that we scored, and Jerome Bettis scored at the very end of the game. It was a run play, and New England was never an easy team to beat. We got to remember that. And again, I'm not trying to blow smoke up anybody's ass. I just know that New England, even before Tom Brady, they're a solid organization. Yes, they weren't winning the Super Bowls. They went to the one in the 90s and lost to the Packers. They went to the one in the 80s and lost to the Bears. But they were always solid. And the Steelers was always a good game with them freaking Patriots, man. And Tom Brady was what took them over, put them over the edge. But at the end of the day, it's never a gimme. Never feels like a gimme to me when we play the New England Patriots. Never, just never does. Let's continue on the board, though. Let's go right here. Let's see. Somber, all of the above. Somber says this soda pop just reminds me of The Outsiders. Joe says, which safety is left off the depth chart by season start? Mike, that's a good question. I don't know what's Savage's deal. I mean, we signed him late. He had a lot of injury issues. Getting him signed, I think, was more of a medical thing. The Savage, again, I don't know because I haven't got a chance to see the guys play all yet in preseason. But off the top of my head, it seems to me that Savage, for whatever reason, could be that player, Mike. And this really isn't going off a whole lot. This is
like he could be, but like if he comes onto the team and he is healthy, I think he can find a spot because you got what Brisker, Elliott, Savage, Spears, Jennings, and Castro, and whatever a Jack Henderson is.
Whatever the hell a Jack Henderson is.
No disrespect to Jack Henderson,
of course not.
But I think it's definitely obviously Brisker, Elliott. Castro, I never saw the appeal of. I still don't see the appeal of Castro. So for me personally, I think it's going to be Brisker, Elliott, Spears, Jennings, and Darnell Savage, unless his injury is that bad to where he looks like a shell of himself out there.
And I'm seeing Tyrone saying I heard Savage look good. So again, for me, I have to see. I got to see preseason action. I have to because we got to think, guys. As much as we did get done in this offseason, we still haven't even got to camp yet. So there's still a lot to learn. I know we're getting a bunch of people from the board, Mike, heading into town to check out camp the end of next month. So again, still a lot to learn about our team. I can't wait with camp and then also preseason coming along in the following month. So a lot of football, guys. A lot to learn about our Steelers. It's a new team. And that's one thing I have to keep telling myself. There's not gimmies as far as things to know about our squad. Everything is basically different this year, and we kind of have to relearn it. And I like that. I like that because what we just learned and what we just knew was getting stale, and it was time to make some changes. So I'm ready for the changes now to see how we can advance this team and move in the right direction. So I'm very, very, very interested, Mike. As soon as camp starts, all the way through the end of preseason, I think we learn a lot about our team. Let's go right here to Dude. Dude says in Oklahoma and parts of Texas call them a Coke. Yes, I've heard that as well. Grab me a Coke. What kind, they say? Yes, they refer to pop as Coke. Everything, and I think that's pretty cool. Interesting. It's interesting, but I've certainly heard that.
That's one I can't get behind.
Steel Loyal says pop is the noise it makes when they open it, caveman style. Tyrone says we beat them last year, but we it took 5 turnovers. We beat them by 7? I don't know, but again, it wasn't an easy game by any means. It wasn't an easy game. It's never an easy game. When was the last time we blew out New England? He says this: we beat them last year. We played them week 2 this year. We're going to beat them, and that's right. We do get them again. So, Somber says, is it though, or is it more like? Of course, the sound of the can opening. LOL. Steel Loyal says it's pop. Somber says, I guess there's a pop afterwards. Lindsay says it's pop. Period. Damn it. Pop. Somber. And then let's see. Tyrone. Tyrone is saying this. I heard Savage look good. Steel Loyal says, yo, hand me a Greasy Yinzer tortilla is saying right here. Somber says, hand me a pop, hand you a sucker. I like it. Of course, a lollipop. Dude says Brady and Belichick cheating years. Yeah. I mean, whatever the deal was with them guys, we always had a hard time beating them, even before the Belichick years. And again, very, very difficult game last year. We don't force 5 turnovers, we probably don't win that game. Let's go here to Ty. He says, hand me a Ginger Yinzer, a.k.a. Lindsay. Damn. Let's move on. Lindsay says this, Mike, in response, or at least the next message, Lindsay says this. She says, y'all can't be Steeler fans saying soda. We say pop here. Let's go to Corey. Corey, don't drink that at Lindsay. I do what I want. He says it in the Cartman voice. Let's go to Somber. Never calling it pop ever. Not even if there's a fire. I'm not going to call it pop. Let's continue on. Let's go down here to Corey. Corey says this. Don't drink that. Of course, that's Somber. Not even if they're there. It is. Guy Corey, come on, brother. Same page, man. Let's go right here to Tyrone. Wild today. Y'all wild today, shaking my head. I needed a laugh. So, hey, man, I'm glad to hear that, brother. Because again, I was worried. I was worried sick about Tyrone. Like I was gonna write him last night to make sure he's okay. But I was like, I don't want to bother him. I mean, if he's not feeling well or whatever. But great to hear Tyrone is doing better. Somber says, yep, LOL. And then fine. Oh, nope. Somber also says this. Say pop and I'll throw you the rope. Me, I'll jump on my own. Tortilla, I tried. I'm tired of these motherfucker pops on this motherfucking pod. And he follows it up. Sorry, he's not following that up. Tyrone now says
Tortilla Tyrone.
I'm telling you, dude.
Same person.
Let's go here. Y'all should start a pop soda podcast. Lindsay says, always saying pop, guys, and I'm right for you. Hey, you know what? It's not us you got to argue with. It's Lindsay. You got to fight that battle. So
Lindsay has never been wrong.
You know what?
And especially right now.
Hey, I'm not going to fight you. That's all I got to say. You got to watch out for Lindsay. Let's go here to Tortilla. I'm just quoting Tortilla Jackson. Also, Tyrone says this. Tyrone says it's pop. Corey says sometimes a new persona takes over, and I say soda with a Michigan accent, laughing my ass off. Snap Crackle Soda. Let's go here to Somber. Great, right here. Right now, I want to watch The Outsider. Still loyal. We sound like inside of a mouth. We sound like the inside of a mouth of Pop Rocks. And finally, Lindsay says, ever, Mike. Let's get to some topics, guys. I'm going to go right here, Mike. Former NFL GM compares Bernard Jeremy, of course, to Mr. Chris Godwin. Mike, the wide receiver who I thought had a pretty good career in the NFL, and I never heard nothing bad. Mike, he actually used the word he's a clone. He's a clone of Godwin. Mike, I'm not a huge Godwin fan. I know that he was very successful. He was successful in the league, a good wide receiver. What does that mean to you when they say that he's comparable, Mike, almost a clone to a wide receiver like Chris Godwin?
If we can get Chris Godwin production, I will take that. Playing for since 2017 to 2025, you get me 41 touchdowns and almost 8,000 yards in that time frame. I will take that all day, every day. I watched Godwin a lot at Penn State. He could play inside, outside. He did that a lot more than he played outside a lot more than Jeremy did. They're similar builds. Not seeing Jeremy's entire career, it's hard for me to get to offer an honest opinion of how comparable he is to Godwin. I just think Godwin was the more complete player coming out of college because he was playing inside, outside, was the top guy, was the number one threat, where Jeremy was a really good weapon at Alabama, used more in a kind of like a Debo Samuel role, and that's kind of how I see him. But if you can get similar level of production from Bernard and that Godwin had throughout his career, I'll take that every fucking day. He's a reliable receiver, and if Bernard can be that reliable receiver, I will take that.
Yeah, so I mean, just again, more that we're gonna have to see and we're gonna have to learn. And again, we've seen what Jeremy did in college. We've all watched the tape by now, and like everything else, just more reason to get excited about everything that's coming up between now and the regular season, Mike. So again, there's gonna be a lot that we learn as OTAs do continue through this week. It does go today and tomorrow. They wrap up OTAs tomorrow, but the rookies will be back Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week for the Mike McCarthy rookie school. Mike. Beat writer says this. He says we're already seeing benefits from choosing the experience over youth when it comes time to talk about Mike McCarthy, this is something that was a big debate after Mike Tomlin stepped down back in January. Mike, a lot of people it's January. or February, whenever it was. I don't recall, but when he actually stepped down. But Mike, I do know that that was a big debate. People were saying, "Oh, we want the young guy. We want one of these young,
Yeah.
new, innovative coaches." And listen, I'm always on that boat. I'm not going to say I wasn't. And so right now, people are saying, Mike, you're starting to see the advantages that we're having as a team by bringing in experience over youth.
Funny, who's been on that drum for the past 3 to 4 months now? Us. Just pointing that out there. But yeah, it is. I am loving the experienced coaching staff because you're going with a lot of young talent on this team, and why not give a coaching staff or assemble a coaching staff that has a lot of experience, a lot of winning experience, and that can still relate to the younger talent and still adapt to the NFL the way all these coaches have. The way McCarthy's offense is still one of the better offenses in the NFL. It's still an innovative offense. So I liking this hire more and more every day. But yes, we were on the forefront of hey, this actually might be a sneaky good move because you have all this young talent. You see the staff that he's building. It's just been aces so far from McCarthy and his staff. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I am too, Mike. Let's talk a little bit about. I'm going to talk a little bit about this coaching staff for a moment. I want to talk about, of course, the offensive coordinator Brian Angelichio. Mike, he comes out and talks about basically. I read this in an article this morning about his position. What are you on this team? What is it going to? What does it mean to be the offensive coordinator under Mike McCarthy as a head coach? Of course, everyone knows that McCarthy likes to call the plays, which I have no problem with. I think that it's interesting. I'm willing to go for the ride and see how this plays out. But Mike, Brian Angelichio, he says, I'm basically an extension of Mike McCarthy. He says it's hard to, to be the head coach and to do these things. He says I'm an extension. If you're wondering what it is that I do, he's like we split things up on as far as offense. I'll work with some guys on this. He'll work with other guys. But as far as what his role is, that's the way he explained to Mike. Is he's an extension to Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, because like he said, or that you reported that he said, like McCarthy has everything to do, and he wanted someone that understands his philosophy and that Kevin O'Connell's system that Angelichio worked with is another one of those West Coast offenses that has a lot of McCarthyisms in their offense, like a lot of West Coast offenses do. They're all similar. They all have little wrinkles to it. But this is a nice flow and a nice fit there. And when he went to the Vikings in 2022, they finished sixth in passing offense, and then the next year they were fifth in passing offense. That's when he became their pass game coordinator and tight end coach. So he has experience coaching up and designing plays of how to make an offense pass heavy and explosive. That's another sneaky good move.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Mike. I'm excited about it. Again, a lot of coordinator talk today. We talked about Angelichio. Of course, we talked about Patrick Graham. And this is just kind of where we're at in the offseason, Mike. We're kind of getting into, the little, all the sub stories, everything that's going on with this team and learning this team. And I think, certainly people that involve themselves in shows like this and other shows on the internet, we're going to be ready. Everything is going to be, everyone's going to be excited and ready to go. But I agree with you, Mike. And also one other thing about Angelichio is this, he's a tight end guy. You know what I mean? And I like that because we have a couple of tight ends, if they're used right, can be very effective. So I'm looking forward to that part that he brings, Mike, because he's been a tight end coach, worked with tight ends, and to have a guy like Washington on one hand, and then to have a pro like Youth on the other hand, it's somebody who's very, he's got talent. The guy's got talent. To have those guys, and I can't wait to see what this coaching staff brings, and I just think that's an advantage. And again, Mike, I'm interested. I'm interested to see how this plays out with McCarthy being the guy. He's going to be calling all the plays. We've never had that. We didn't have it under Cowher. We didn't have it under Tomlin. We didn't have that under Knoll. So again, something new, a whole nother wrinkle to add to the page, Mike, of our Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think that we all, even if you were a Steeler fan in the 70s, this is something that you're going to be learning new with everybody else, whether you're a Steeler fan from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, whatever. We're all going to learn this together and experience together. So I'm very excited about that, Mike, seeing what the new coaching staff, Mike McCarthy, the experience over youth, and then what Angelichio and Patrick Graham can do for the offense and defense. Optimistic. Even though I have questions, I can't say that I'm not optimistic.
I'm optimistic too. And back to the Angelichio, and you mentioned the tight ends. There's a couple figures I pulled together here. Like in 2023, TJ Hawkinson, he busted out that year. 95 catches, 960 yards, 5 touchdowns. If you can split that type of production between your two guys in Freiermuth and Washington, that's huge because you're going to have the two big dogs on the outside.
Yeah.
And it goes even back further. In 2015, and I think it was Cleveland, a Gary Barndage, whoever the hell that is, 79 catches, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. That's out of a Cleveland Brown team.
Yeah.
You know, if you can design an offense to free up whoever that guy was, I like it. You know, it gives me confidence that we're going to see some good numbers coming from Darnell Washington and Pat Freiermuth. And, you know, yes, he's a tight end guy, but don't forget in that offense in Minnesota, he had some pretty good wide receivers too that he was working with, and they were still putting up really good numbers in Jetta, in Addison. So it's going to be a fun offense to watch.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm hoping that you're right. This guys, we talked a little bit about everything. I want to get into contract talk as the last topic that we do have. So let me get caught on the board. We're going to talk a little bit about JPJ. We're going to talk a little bit about Nick Herbig. A few things that I do have to go over here as far as contract talk, and even a little bit about our offensive line. We'll get into just a moment, Mike, but I do want to stay caught up on the board. I don't want to fall behind. I'm going to go right here to Tyrone. Thanks, brother. Still in pain, but I feel a little bit better. Still swollen like Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob, my man. Just take it easy, dude. Take your day off today and just relax and do what you got to do. You get it. Let's go to Tortilla. Can I get a soda? Somber says a sody pop. A sody pop, Steel Loyal says. Let's go down here to Steel Loyal. Laugh my ass off, Somber. Great minds. Somber says, bah, can't get out of my head. Tyrone said, it's not bad comp at all, but I'm staying with Debo. He is a clone to him. Here's one for you, Mike. Brandon Ayuk's name's coming up again. Do you grab him for depth if you can, if you're a Steeler, or are you done with the wide receiver room at this point if you're the Steelers?
I'm not done with the receiver room, but I am done with Brandon Ayuk.
Okay.
The way he's been acting for this whole thing, I don't want that drama anywhere near my team, especially my receiver room. Done.
All right, interesting. Let's go here to Lindsay. I'll wait until I see him to judge him. Steel Loyal says he's Debo with better route running, but Bernard and Godwin have the same exact build. Gotcha. Okay. Let's go down to Ty. Ty says this. Ty, something's got to give here. Okay, here we go. Steel Loyal, we did get that. Tyrone, Lindsay, you killing me with this Bernard. Tyrone says, have faith, punk. Also, punk pop. Let's go down to Lindsay. I do in DK and Pittman. Steel Loyal says, and Roman. And that is, I mean, we got to remember Roman too. Roman's got to be a big part of this. He's got to be. And that's why, I didn't care for everything the way that it went last year with of course, Roman and Aaron Rodgers. They got to get that fixed again. New coaching system, new system. I'm having faith in that. So I'm hoping for the best. Don't drink that. Corey says that. Lindsay sounds like Eminem. It's not soda, it's pop. If you know, you know, LOL. Lindsay says, yeah, forgot about him. Let's go down to Steel Loyal. He says 14. Lindsay says it's pop. Don't drink that. Tyrone, Bernard will start. Delete it. Lindsay says over DK and Pittman. Doubt it. Tortilla says louder pop. Let's go right here. Tyrone, no, but he will be wide receiver 3. Goofy. Lindsay says, what about Roman? That's the big matchup, Mike. That is going to be a matchup for camp. Roman Wilson or, of course, Jeremy Bernard. How's that going to play out,
That's going to be a fun camp battle to watch. It's going to be really good.
For sure. Nice competition. Corey says that. Lindsay, are you the queen of pop? I guess. Tyrone says we run 11 personnel. That's 3 wide receivers on the field. Lindsay said, yes, I am. Follows it up by saying, I'm trying to read that chat. I'm trying to read the chat type and work and throw the ball to my niece all at the same time. Maybe Lindsay should be considered, Mike, for that backup quarterback position. She could be. Just saying. Somber says this. All right, Somber with the facts. Let's get into it right here. Somber says this, guys. He says pot widely used throughout the Midwest and parts of Pacific Northwest. Soda, the preferred term on the East Coast, the West Coast, and parts of the Southwest. And we appreciate all that. We do really appreciate that, Somber. Thank you, sir. Follows that down. There's the breakdown for you. Thank you, man. Somber's on top of this shit.
He is too. He's on point.
Lindsay Somber just shaking my head. It's Pop. Tortilla says in Cleveland, Pop is known as poop. Let's go here, Tyrone. Hell nah. He's a head case, of course. Brandon Ayuk. Let me ask you this one real quick, guys. Here's a quick pop quiz. And again, I'm not going to go on and on about it. Pop quiz. If money wasn't involved, if any of all the details weren't involved, pop quiz. Do you want Joe Burrow, or do you want Baker Mayfield as your quarterback if you were the Pittsburgh Steelers? No questions asked, no contracts, no money talk. Who would you want? Pop quiz. Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield. Again, I mean, these are some kind of James Harrison, talking about Joe Burrow, this and that, recruiting. Again, now with all the Baker Mayfield talk. So this is my pop quiz. Again, it holds no water. But who do you want? If it just right now you had to answer Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow, Mike. Who do you pick right now?
I am taking Joe Burrow.
All right, now everybody.
Guy's been to a Super Bowl. He got there before.
All right, everybody on the board agrees with you, Mike. Tyrone, Burrow, Tortilla, Burrow, Steel Loyal, Burrow. Lindsay saying Baker. And you got to think, though, they both played for Ohio teams. They both were big improvements on those Ohio teams. Again, Baker was doing things with Cleveland that's never done before. That hasn't been done for a very long time, I should say. And Joe Burrow doing for Cincinnati, as you said, Mike, taking them to the Super Bowl. So, again, just a couple names that will probably never happen for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But just a pop quiz. John, dude likes Joe Burrow as well. Somber likes Baker. Let me see what he says. He says Baker feels more like a Steeler, but I prefer the talent of Burrow. Totally understandable.
Yeah.
Totally understandable. Let's go here to Tortilla. Burrow threw for over 5,000 yards like 2 years ago. I forgot his TDs. And Steel Loyal said Baker's my favorite quarterback. I love watching Baker Mayfield, and that's why I continue to say that. Me, right off the top of my head, I almost got to kind of go with what I think Somber said. I love the talent of Joe Burrow. He has a hard time staying healthy. But Baker Mayfield, if there was a guy that I would say is an AFC North style Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback, I would lean toward Baker Mayfield. So, again, that's why I wanted to throw it out there. I didn't want to let anybody get too deep into it. Just a quick pop quiz, and it seems like for the most part, people leaned in the way of Joe Burrow. But Lindsay, you're right. He has a hard. I remember him throwing a pass out in the flat and injuring his arm 2 years ago, his forearm. So again, if a guy is that fragile, it would be difficult to make that decision. But let's go right here to Somber. Ayuk doing his best AB impression lately. Tortilla Ayuk got CTE from a leg injury. Let's go to Ty. Ty says, I would love some Deebo Samuel as depth. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Who wouldn't? Sure. Ty says, I have 25 faith in Roman. Tyrone says, and I'm at 25. Somber says, I heard Lindsay can throw 70 yards. Hey.
Can she throw the football over those mountains? That's
right?
The question.
Uncle Rico talent. That's the question.
Yeah.
Lindsay says, yes, I can. 90 on a good day. And she takes the steak right off of my plate and throws it and hits Mike in the face. If you know, you know, right? Don't drink that. Corey says this. I don't want any player that will openly be unprofessional and air their dirty laundry. This is house conflict. Keep it in-house. I agree. And in this league today, it's tough to find sometime, unfortunately. Somber, I think it comes down to injuries for me, and they both get injured often. Scoot down just a hair because we did get a lot of these. Lindsay says Burrow's hurt all the time. That's my thing. Steel Loyal says, yeah, but we'd protect Burrow better. But again, you got to remember, he threw a ball out in the flat and strained his forearm. I'm just saying, maybe it was a freak accident. Maybe it will never happen again. But that is one thing that I will never forget about Joe Burrow. I remembered he was down inside the 10, threw a ball out in the flat, and he was out for the rest of quite some time with the forearm strain. So again, I don't know. It's tough to say.
He could sit there with Will Howard, like they compare injuries. Like, how'd you get hurt? I threw the ball. My sender snapped it to me and I broke my hand. Like, they
At
can
least
have
somebody else was at fault. I mean, like the fact that he snapped the ball so hard. Joe Burrow,
weak Ohio State soft hands there.
all
Ohio
Burrow
State
did was just throw a ball at like 6 yards. Anyway,
he threw that with a lot of torque there, man.
That wasn't really, but let's go right to Steel Loyal. He says, yeah, okay, Somber, you also get that dual threat with Baker. Let's go here to Tyrone. I would take Baker next year, but we need to regroup and go young. Tortilla says Baker gets hurt a lot too. He just plays through it. See, that's what I'm saying. He just has an AFC North feel to him. He'll play through. I don't know. That's the vibe I get to Tortilla. Let's go here. Lindsay says true steel, and my laugh my ass off. I'm sorry, Somber. Yeah, they both get hurt. Burrows are just more serious usually. Tortilla Baker ain't no slouch, so I couldn't agree with you more. I agree with that 100%. Corey says this. He says, I'm taking Baker. He's the healthiest and most consistent. Steel Loyal says, back in 82, I could throw a pigskin a quarter mile. Yeah. That is one of my favorite movies. It really is. I have a wide range of movies I enjoy. And the thing is, I'm not really a movie guy. When the ones that I really like. Let's go here to Tortilla. Anyone who makes the Browns or Bengals competitive is good enough for me. That's what I'm saying. If you could make those teams go to the Super Bowl and do the things that Baker did, can you imagine what they do in a good organization like ours? A team that wins consistently. Tyrone Baker is cold though, but this class too stacked up the pass. It's true. We're certainly going to be paying a lot of attention to that. And Corey says Joe Burrow gets hurt so much you can't leave him home alone. Get it, guys? Do you get it? Okay, I'll see myself out. Of course, I got it. Lindsay says this. She says, you know what I learned, man? Remember movies way more than women. Really, and that could be the case because again, I'm not a movie guy, but the ones I do like, I really enjoy them. Somber says this. Steelers DB is predicting Arch to be the first quarterback off the board. He was correct about Mendoza last year. We'll see if he could go 2 for 2. Guys, a couple things as we're kind of rounding third here on the show. Burrow tore his ACL jumping on the bed. All right, Mike. Let's talk about some contracts. I'm going to talk about what Nick Herbig says this. Mike, he has a little bit to offer, some advice to offer to Keanu Benton and Joey Porter Jr. as they are waiting, and we are waiting patiently to find out what goes on with these contracts. Do they get extensions? This is what Nick Herbig says to the guys to keep their morale up. Mike, he says there's going to be days you're mad, you're irritated, and days where you're just like, whatever, it is what it is, Herbig said. You're just trying your hardest to not think about it. Don't let it distract you and stay locked in and keep working and work your while you wait, basically. He says, but to me, it's almost impossible not to think about it. But it's a monumental time in your life, but you just have to continue to work and don't let it sit on your mind, Mike, is what is being said here by Nick Herbig, talking to, of course, Benton and JPJ as they're patiently waiting to see if these contract extensions go down.
Yeah, it's good advice. It sucks to be in that situation because you want to get paid, and everyone can't be paid. Then if you're Benton and JPJ, you're looking around at the guys that are being signed, what they're making. You got to start thinking like, are they done? Is there enough for me? And those thoughts come in, but you're hoping the talks that they're having between them, their agents, the agent, and the team are being good, and they're assuring them like, hey, don't worry, we got you in here. But it's frustrating, man, because especially for someone like Porter, who literally grew up around the team. It calls Ike Taylor uncle. Like that's how close he is to him. He is a lot. The Steelers are part of his family,
Mike.
And for that to happen, you got to be a little frustrated.
He even inherited his hands. I mean, how much?
I know, right? Like how much closer can you be?
Right.
Related to someone without being related. But like in Porter, you're easily in the top 10 of your position, arguably top 5. And you're seeing guys that, no offense to those guys, but aren't starters getting rewarded before you. That can sting. That's only human to think that way. It's like at your job, you're seeing people getting promoted over. You're like, wait, everyone knows I'm better than
I
them.
think
Why
this
are
is
they
the
getting
secret,
promoted?
though, because as you said, like you're talking about guys who aren't starting getting the contract over you. The fact of the matter is, I understand that JPJ is more important to the team. So to put it in that way, I wouldn't be, I can't. I would say no, don't be frustrated, because the thing about JPJ, it's going to get taken care of eventually. And again, it isn't like these guys are getting signed over him; they're just getting their work taken care of before, and that's just the way it's playing out. And I would have expected that, to be honest with you. So at the end of the day, Mike, I don't know. I just think it is what it is at this point. They're getting there. 2 weeks ago, none of these guys were signed.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, we came here 2 days last week, and 2 of them got taken care of. And I know that Benton's being worked on, and JPJ, again, with this contract being more complicated and such, it's just where it is for me. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. But at the end of the day, I for under no circumstances don't see that this extension eventually doesn't get worked out with JPJ. But as Herbig is saying, just be patient, do what you do, focus on what it is you need to focus on, and it'll get taken care of. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I, under any circumstances, can't believe that JPJ won't eventually get extended. And again, it might not be a JPJ thing. It just might be the way that the system is working right now.
Yeah.
And again, trying to figure money out and go and reconstruct other guys. And so again, I just think it's the nature of the beast. I don't think it's any lack of respect for JPJ or anything along those lines, Mike. He's a top cornerback in this league. Whether you say he's top 3, top 5, top 10, whatever the case is, you don't get a guy like him often. And when you do get a guy, you don't tend to let him go, especially when you're signing extensions for other people, Mike, along the way that, I would say are good. But you want that top. You have a top cornerback. You got to keep him around. You got to. In a passing league, you have to.
You have to. And the only reason you wouldn't sign him is you're thinking, okay, we're going to go back to the old Blitzburg ways and just blitz and cause pressure and simulated pressure. And we don't need elite on the end. We need elite up front, which I think is kind of an outdated way to go. I think, you still need your top corners. I still say quarterback, corners, and left tackles are still the 3 primary positions, and you get one of those 3, you lock them up.
Just real quick, not going to hang on too long, Mike. What's his contract going to look like when he does get it extended? Where do you think he falls as far as money being paid out to cornerbacks? Again, we're not going to draw this out, because I have one more that we're going to talk about here, Mike. Just top of your head, what's JPJ's contract look like when it does get?
I think it potentially resets the market.
All right. Very interesting. All right, let's move on, guys. Let's talk about Zach Frazier. Mike, again, talking about resetting the market. Miami Dolphins center Aaron, I think his name was Brewer, perhaps. Aaron Brewer, Mike, he just signed a deal, 3 years, $52.5 million extension. It includes $37 million guarantee. This is the center for the Miami Dolphins, Mike. 3rd highest paid center in the NFL, behind only number 1 Tyler Lindenbaum, and then also Creed Humphreys for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mike, what does this do for Zach Frazier next year when it's time to start talking Zach Frazier extension? Again, Aaron Brewer, Mike, 3rd. He just signed a 3-year, $52.5, $37 million guaranteed. How does this affect Zach Frazier next year?
Well, Zach Frazier and his agent are walking in there smiling like butcher's dogs, being like, "What you got? What do you boys got? Because we know how good we are. You know how good we are compared to everyone else. What are you gonna offer us for us to stay here?" Zach Frazier is arguably up there with Creed Humphreys as the best center in the NFL right now, and he's only played 2 full years, 3 full years. He's going into year 3. He's going to command a shit ton of money, and that's a good thing and a bad thing for the Steelers. Like, they have all these guys that are going to deserve a lot of money, for the positions that they play. That means you've hit on those draft picks. Now it sucks to figure out who you're going to keep and who you're going to let go.
You're right.
But he's going to make a lot of money, and then Fatanu's going to make a lot of money the following year, because you're probably going to do the 5th-year option on him. McCormick's going to make a decent amount of money.
Can you imagine also, Mike, if this line turns into that offensive line that it's being expected to turn into, and it keeps Aaron Rodgers off his ass, and it opens up holes for the running game, and it keeps the everything safe for the passing game. So again, Mike, just very excited to see how that plays. I just know that Zach, will have a bit of a payday on his hand moving forward as well. Just seeing those numbers by, of course, going to looking at what's happening with the Dolphins, Mike. So again, that's coming up next year. We'll be paying attention to. Let's grab some messages here, Mike, on the board to get caught up. I'm going to go to Ty. Ty says, signed JPJ. What's the hold up? Corey's saying this at Lindsay. That's because women want to talk the whole effing time, laughing my ass off. And you know what? He's not wrong. I'm sorry, Lindsay. Let's continue on.
Lindsay's
right here.
never wrong.
Well, Lindsay's never wrong. You're right.
Never wrong.
But I don't think Corey's wrong there either. I'm just saying. Don't shoot me. Somber says this. Herbig on Cam's pod was so hilarious. LOL. I think he might have been high. No BS. LOL. I didn't see it. I'll have to check it out. Let's go right here to Lindsay says Herbig works. That's why he got paid. I haven't seen him not work. I've been working his ass off. Let's go Steel Loyal. Laugh my ass off. Herbig saying Wisconsin was top 5 and everything was hilarious. Tortilla Bro got that top shelf now. Somber said, I said business. I didn't say top 5 in what category, LOL. Tortilla says Con is just stuck on Y equals MVS plus JPJ. Once he figures that equation out, JPJ will sign. Let's go here to Tyrone. I knew JPJ would be last, but this is getting only on my last nerve. I don't want to wait till July. I hear you, man. I hear you. Still Loyal, he says they need to sign him soon. I got a badass JPJ edit just chilling in the drafts. Nice. Let's go here to Ty. Ty says top 3. He follows it up with saying Omar keeps waiting and lets Pat sign Gizmo and Seahawks sign Witherspoon. First market back up. Top 5, Lindsay is saying. Mike, you're the GOAT, as Tyrone, of course, was saying.
Thank you,
Let's go here to Tyrone. He follows it up, Mike, by saying, I heard JPJ 28-31 Steelers, 27-29. I could see 30. Of course, even referring the whole. Lindsay saying 27.5 most likely. Tortilla is saying this. Omar looks like the kind of guy who got a beef jerky stuck up his sleeve.
You never know when you might get hungry, man. When you're pounding out those deals, you got to have the protein there to keep going.
Tyrone says, hush, Lindsay. Lindsay says, you hush. My opinion. Let's go here to Somber. Somber, he says this. We wouldn't be able to afford Baker anyway. We have offensive linemen to pay. It's going to be interesting. But again, everything that I keep saying can't in my head, I keep saying Omar out of my mouth. Because through my whole entire life, there's been many years our Steelers just couldn't do this. How they just can't do that. They don't have the money. They can't do this. But you know what? Omar Khan has come along and done so many things over these past 2, 3, 4 seasons, Mike, where I said to myself, this would have never happened in Steeler history, and I've never seen it happen. He makes shit happen. So again, to say never, I think is a bit of a stretch with him at this point. Again, we'll see what Omar can do. Tyrone says, yeah, she is always wrong. He says that Lindsay is always wrong. Lindsay says, Corey on my ass today, but you're right. I missed that comment. Corey, he's you got to watch Corey sometime, man. He starts getting, he slides them in there. He sneaks them in there on you. Lindsay says, never that. Tortilla says, exactly. Somber. Scoot down here to Somber. Somber says this, LOL, fun to talk about, though. Ty says this, she don't want the smoke, Mike. Tyrone follows it up by saying, I ain't Tater to boss around. Lindsay says, yeah, I'm so scared. Mike, why don't you tell everybody about the website?
The2dumyinzers.com. Check it out, everyone. I had a fresh little thing posted up yesterday. So check that out. We got all of Ryan and I social media links over there. We got the merch store over there if that's your thing as well. So check it out at the2dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. A lot of cool stuff over at the website, www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. Mike, it is time to get into it. It's time to get into the trivia question of the day. Put on your thinking cap. Everybody at home as well. Everybody on the board. It is time for the question of the day. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, here we go. We all know that Mike Webb. This is okay. I'll give you the category, Mike. We talked about Zach Frazier, his contract. This is going to be a question about Pittsburgh Steelers centers. Pittsburgh Steelers centers. Here we go. We all know that Mike Webster is the longest tenured Steeler in Pittsburgh Steeler history. Who was the second longest tenured center in this team's history, Mike? And I am going to give you multiple choice. Is it A, Dermontti Dawson, B, Pouncey, or C, Ray Mansfield? I'm looking for the second longest tenured Pittsburgh Steelers center of all time. And I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you after the fact. So go ahead and put your guesses up. You might think that you think that you might know it. If you do know it, if you want to take a guess, throw it up on the board. Do that, guys. I'm just going to say this, Mike. It was shorter schedules when Mansfield played. So depending on what the answer is, you could be correct on a couple things here. So, and you could be incorrect in a couple ways.
Yeah.
I just want to throw it out there. The Mansfield day schedules were shorter, period of time, years played, blah, blah, blah. So again, let me ask you this. First, Mike Webster is the longest tenured Pittsburgh Steelers center ever. Who was the second? Your choices are Dermontti Dawson, Marquise Pouncey, and Ray Mansfield. Think that over, guys. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. every day right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
I'm seeing Dermontti Dawson by Tortilla on the board. He's saying that. Also, Dude is saying Mansfield. Somber, of course, with the 6'9", 420, which is always right in my opinion. Steel Loyal says, I'm going to guess Dawson. I know he played a while. Tyrone, I am just tired of arguing with Mark and not on JPJ's side anymore and hating on Bernard. Tyrone is saying Pouncey. And, of course, I'm looking for the second longest tenured Pittsburgh Steeler center. Mike Webster being the longest, Mike playing 15 years. What's your thought process? I know that Dermontti Dawson, Marquise Pouncey, and Ray Mansfield are your choices.
That's a tough one. Because I obviously saw Dawson play. Obviously saw Pouncey play. I never know how long those guys play. Never saw, obviously, Webby, and definitely never saw Ray Mansfield play. But I know of those guys. I know of how long they played. I know that was like the lineage of those four, the greats. Fuck. I'm going to go Mansfield.
Ray Mansfield, is that your final answer?
Give me Dirt. Give me Dawson.
Want Dawson?
Yeah, final answer, Dirt Dawson.
All right, I'm locking you in on that. We'll give it another moment or so, guys. Question of the day. Mike Webster, the longest tenured center in Pittsburgh Steeler history. Who is the second longest tenured center? Mike Webster, of course, was 15 seasons. Your multiple choice answers are Dermontti Dawson, Marquise Pouncey, and Ray Mansfield. Mike, you went with Dirt Dawson, correct?
Yep.
All right, so there you go. Guys, give you just another moment. Throw your answer up there. If you got to throw a guess up, perhaps, even if you don't know it. Question of the day. Mike Webster, the longest tenured center in Pittsburgh Steeler history, 15 seasons. Who is the second longest? Mike, you said Dermontti Dawson. That is correct in a way. Now, yeah. Ray Mansfield also was the longest tenured. He played the same amount of years. Less games, though, played due to schedule. So technically, Dermontti Dawson is the correct answer. I would have taken Mansfield. Yeah. Is what I was trying to explain. Pouncey, 11 years. Dermontti Dawson, Ray Mansfield, both 13 years. And again, Mike Webster, 15 years, was the longest tenured center. So there you go. Dermontti Dawson was correct. Ray Mansfield would have been accepted as well.
Yeah.
So great job, everybody.
Yeah. Talk about four great centers to play.
Absolutely.
And that's like, oh my God. Like, Dawson was the first center that I really remember watching play. I forget when Webby retired, but I know Dawson, man, like, seeing a guy snap the ball and pull, like, it was like the thing, because centers in that time really didn't do that. They were just there and blocked in the middle. Dawson's leading out on the edge and shit like that. He was a big guy, athletic, one of the greats of all time.
All right, let me fly through some messages here real quick. I don't want to miss anybody today. Lindsay says Tyrone just scares the fuck out of me. Let's go down here to Ty. Ty says you're going to be nice to Bernard too. Tortilla says Lindsay versus Tyrone would really be more like Pokemon, because they both summon JPJ and TJ to fight for them. I like it. Somber says no ribs and mac for Tyrone. Let's go down here to Lindsay. Lindsay says this. She says I'm not I'm tired of you bossing me around. I'm not Tater. Lindsay says this. I'll hate him just because. Everybody's guesses. We did get all those. I'm going to just kind of skip by everyone's guess. Lindsay says, I like JPJ, but I don't have to agree with everything, and Bernard is still questionable to me. Lindsay says that also follows up by saying, where'd it go? Lindsay follows up by saying, not telling everyone how to react. Tyrone, Tortilla, Mark Malberg, whatever. Tortilla says this. Tyrone, every time you're mean to Lindsay, we have to wait another day until JPJ
Oh, shit.
Is this what's going on? I wonder.
Omar's listening to the show, and he's like, Jay, sorry.
Lindsay says, yep, Tortilla. Tyrone says, I'm never mean. She's mean. Vegas, always great seeing Vegas in the house. Thanks for swinging by, bud. Always awesome seeing you. What's good, everybody? Mean Lindsay Green. Mean Lindsay Green. Tortilla is saying, Mike, mean Lindsay Green. Lindsay says that your approach. Still Loyal says, go Canes. Mike, that is who you're rooting for tonight, of course, in the NHL. Sorry about that. And Vegas says this. We, the USA, just sent the Iraqi all-time leading goal scorer due to undisclosed information.
Oh, so we sent him home. Okay, wow.
And then he followed it up by saying send him home as well. A couple things here, guys, before we do wrap it up for the day. I do want to say thank you to everybody for being here. Also, Mike, I want to say these few things. We did talk about Duquesne Pilsner, so you know what? I'm going to just mention it briefly. Go get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner if you're trying to get your buzz on, watch some games this summer, Mike, as a lot of times people like to get a beer and hang out and just watch sports. Do stop and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. Delicious beer, always made right here in Pittsburgh. It says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Also, you can check us out, Mike. You can check us out on social media, pretty much everywhere. You can check us out on Facebook, externally known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok. Swing by and hit the follow button. Keep up with what's going on with the two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And if you haven't yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like, hit the sub, the share, comment. It all helps out. And one way or another, guys, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mike, your thoughts on today's show?
Oh, man. Taking the wait-and-see approach with both offense and defense, so you see what the coordinators can do. Because like you said, on paper, Graham's deficiencies on third downs were even worse than the Steelers. But also on film, I love the way his defenses play and shit like that. Wait and see. Angelichio the same way. On paper, I love the stats that you read. And, you know, he's come from a Kevin O'Connell system in the last couple of years. Their past games are great. But, you know, this is the first time he's really been a quote-unquote the offensive coordinator. Yes, he's just the extension of McCarthy. But I'm taking the wait-and-see approach. I'm hyped for it because you can talk yourself into like how these guys are going to do what they did, the talent we have, blah, blah, blah. But I want to see how it's all going to transpire. That's why I cannot wait for training camp to show up.
Tyrone said if Omar is listening, Mike, show him the short you did. That was fire. And then Vegas says this, the Golden Knights blew by when they trucked off a 2-goal lead in the third period of game 2. Now it's an uphill battle. Well, you know what? It's still tied, though. The series is tied 2-2. We'll see who can take over tonight. But again, Vegas and Steel Loyal, both very, very strong on their team. Steel Loyal, of course, being from Carolina, and Vegas from out in Vegas. So we'll be certainly paying close attention on that tonight as those two teams face off in Game 5 to see who can take 3-2 lead. That's tonight at 8 o'clock. Also, Mike, the Pirates back at it, trying to win the rubber match against the Dodgers. Mitch Keller on the bump tonight. That is a 6:40 start. And also, guys, we'll be continuing to we'll start working on the what we planned on doing. We're going to create a profile for Mike and for Derpy and put them on gay dating websites for the month of Gay Pride Month. This month, Mike, I think we're going to start working on this today, tomorrow, and into the weekend, and then we'll start keeping results, adding up results, and seeing who gets more results and more reactions on the gay dating website here in Gay Pride Month. We'll take some bets here on the board as the week rounds out to see who we think is going to get the most attention on the website, on the dating website between Mike and Derpy. Mike said he's going to go to dinner with whoever picks him, and then also Derpy will try to get him hooked up again. Guys, don't want to miss this. We're going to start working on this today. Mike, I think I'm going to try to start putting the profiles together. So we'll be talking a little bit about that a little bit more tomorrow. I can see the excitement on your face. Vegas says it'll be tied at 0. He's saying neither of you are going to attract much attention from guys in the dating website.
I am a catch to every sex, every gender. Okay?
This is why you're involved. If this wasn't the attitude you generally take, I wouldn't have put you in it. But because of your circumstance and your opinion, and also Derpy and his lack of dating, Mike, this is why we're doing this competition. We're going to say maybe tomorrow we'll take the votes and we'll write down what people say. I'm still on the fence here, but we're going to see who could draw more dudes.
So you're sitting on the pole?
I'm stuck on a poll. Guys, we're going to see who can draw more guys for this Gay Pride Month activity here on the show. We'll start doing that a little bit more tomorrow. We'll work on the profiles today, and then tomorrow we'll start getting bets to see who's going to do better here on the show. So I can't wait to do that and so much more tomorrow. We'll be back at our regular time and do it all over again to wrap up the week. I do want to say this before we do roll. Thank you so much to everybody for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always keep the show interesting, and we couldn't thank you. We couldn't be more thankful for you than what we are, guys. The terrible board always getting it done, Mike, as they are the bloodline of this show, the lifeblood of this show. I'm sorry. And also I want to say thank you to everybody that's at home. Maybe you're in the car, maybe you're at the gym, watching, listening, whatever the case may be. Thank you too. We couldn't thank you enough, guys and gals, of course. Vegas says this. Mikey says, if there are so many genders these days, why do people always choose male or female? That's a good question. And also Tortilla says this. Mikey says, Vanilla, Thunder, and Derpy walk into a bar. Vanilla is eyeing a torta, and Derpy is nowhere to be found. Guys, again, think about it. Let it bounce around up there, because tomorrow we will start recording who we think is going to be able to pull more dudes. I can't believe I'm even saying this, but this is what's going on this month of the show, guys. Boy, do we need football back, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Vegas says they will find one lady at 3 a.m. and put the vanilla derp on her. However it plays out, it's going to be a lot of fun. But tomorrow we hope to see everybody back again as we get back into everything Steelers, and a lot of also, Mike, other things going on. We do have our soccer squads here in the Berg back at it. We do have the Pittsburgh Passion, our women football players, full contact women team here in Pittsburgh, playing their last game of the season. A lot of stuff coming up, Mike. And also these Pirates do start a new series tomorrow against the Marlins. So we'll get into all that, so much more tomorrow at our regular time. We hope to see everybody back then. Let me make sure there's nobody that we missed. Tyrone, Chiefs just traded OT Wanya Morris to the Falcons. Interesting. And then also Tyrone says they already scared of our defensive line week 1. Hey, it's be what it be. But Mike, anything before we start getting ready to wrap it up?
Oh, man, great show. See y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. Again, you guys are amazing. We love you all. Vegas says bring back the Lingerie Football League. I couldn't agree with you more. I am one of the biggest advocates of the Lingerie Football League. Always have, always will be. How can you not like women playing full contact football in lingerie and shoulder pads? Just, I don't know, something about it, Mike, is just magic to me. So we will be back tomorrow. We're going to do it all over again. We hope to see everybody then. Make sure I ain't forgetting nothing. OTAs today, tomorrow. They wrap up tomorrow and next week. Rookie School, Mike McCarthy's new rookie school. The rookies will be sticking around in the Bird Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. Then everybody wraps it up, heads home, and then they meet back up in St. Vincent College in Latrobe next month. A lot going on for our Steelers. Very excited about this and everything else going forward. Mike, coming back to you. Speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, my man. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. We hope to see everybody then. For Finch, for Derpy, for RB, for Chop, for Mike, myself, the 2 Dum Yinzers. Have a safe, good Thursday. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.